Hey guys, what's up? So I'm just gonna set up the settings here. How's your guys' day? Getting on at 9:06. I know it's usually at 9. I was making myself a little dinner, so sorry about that. Hold on. So it seems like the settings from last time are still not on every video. So we're gonna have to find a way to do that. There we go. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to use this browser. So what did you guys think of last night's stream? How did you like that? A little bit of something new. Just gonna pin this. Yeah, so I'm taking over today. I don't know if I mentioned that, but Zot's not going to be able to be in the video tonight, so I'm going to be taking over for him. Zot love is real. Yeah, guys, it's all love. And there's going to be a whole new background incoming very shortly, so we're getting that ready. Yeah, Christian was on last night as well. Let me pin the link.
Enlisted is the free brand new.
Okay, so the link is pinned. So if you guys want to join it, then click that, join the stream, and you can, we can talk. Green screen, no, the green's not getting set up. It's gonna be like a whole new background. It's gonna be crazy, guys. You're gonna love it. No one's joining. Sorry, guys, I'm just eating. I haven't really eaten all day, so don't mind me. Fun seeing a CNN viewer in the field. Yeah, that's definitely really cool. I know she came on an earlier stream, so it was really cool to see her kind of like live streaming. And I hope she had fun. Mukbang guys. I'm eating ramen. I know it's not the most healthy choice. Oh my gosh. It's not the most healthy choice, but hey, it's what I had at my disposal. Where is Zot? Zot's not here tonight. Zot was busy, so he couldn't join the stream. He had to do something, but he's coming tomorrow. Gonna be right back, and we might have the new background tomorrow. So no, he didn't get arrested, guys. Click the link, the StreamYard link. It's pinned to come on. It's not eggs and peas. I put some chicken in it, and I didn't have any vegetables, so it's just chicken and chili flakes. No ribs tonight. Yeah, I know. It's going to be soon. Maybe not ribs. Maybe we'll do a steak. I do have someone in the queue, but I can't. I have two people now, but I can't see your faces. So Okay, looks like we got this guy. Hey man, what's up?
Hey,
How's it going?
it's good.
Where are you from?
Edmonton.
Oh yeah. And so, did you keep up with the Ottawa Convoy? What's your opinions on it?
I've been a little obsessive over it, actually. I haven't really been working much. I go back to work on Sunday, but
Mm-hmm.
I've been home and I don't really get out. So I spend almost all my time watching live streams, and I've watched obviously Zot, but I didn't know who he was because I was watching Ottawalks. So I found out who he was through Ottawalks, and then obviously he got arrested, and then I started seeing you, and that was my son behind me.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm obviously in support of everything that's going on, and I'm just really upset with the negativity when what we're doing is not negative at all. I joined a couple convoys and protests in Edmonton, and we were doing a march, completely peaceful, and people were giving us the finger. There was an old guy that was yelling at us and giving us the finger, and one of the people's trucks got their tire slashed and their door punched in. And it's like, why? Like, what the fuck are we doing wrong? We're not doing anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Did you find there was any? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this is not something I do. I actually was on Travel Fund's Beers and Cheers last night.
Oh yeah.
And I had a little too much to drink, and I passed out live on camera. So it was a little embarrassing, but
hey, that's what the Beers and Cheers is for.
oh my god, I just whatever. I don't know. I've never been on. I don't do this. I don't do this live cam stuff. Like, I've never done this before, other than last night. So this is completely something that's out of my element, because I'm just I just am someone that wants to be left alone, I guess. I just go to work, come home. But clearly, this is just creating something inside me.
So do you think you're going to be doing more of the social media live streaming stuff in the future?
Probably gonna join. Like, if I just got a notification on my phone that you were doing this, and I was like, I hesitated. I was like, I don't know. But then I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to do it, because I just need to. I need to share my part, my feelings and whatnot, and not be afraid of these clowns that are insulting us and whatnot. And if I can stand up and talk live on this screen, I think we should have some more people getting in here, because
definitely
it does mean a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And what's your opinion on the U.S. People's Convoy?
I love it. I'm Sorry, I got you on my TV too, so I'm kind of reading the comments as well. But Red Dog, I'm not drunk. I am having some beers, but sorry. So I've been watching a lot of that, and it's insane. Like I watched Sasnak, which is backwards for Kansas. And he's like a live streamer, just like Ottawalks and Zot and everything. He covers everything that you guys were doing as well, and sorry, we got some trolls in the chat there.
There's always trolls.
Yeah. But yeah, if you guys actually watch it, Sasnak is who I watch, which there's many other live streamers, but that's who I prefer to watch. He's got a badass truck with a big, like it's pretty much like a motorhome almost. Like he's got a shower and a bathroom in his freaking truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yeah, he'll do like 8-hour streams, 10-hour streams. He's an older guy. He's like a cowboy. The only thing I don't really care for is all the religious kind of stuff, but that's just me, and they're completely free to do that. And I mean, the United States is a very religious place, so it is what it is. I just don't want to. I myself don't think that it's I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. I don't really want to link that in with what we're doing, but that's my own personal opinion. I have no hate for anyone. I completely respect all of what they're doing, and sorry, my Zello is going off.
So you mentioned that you're not working as much. Is that due to like COVID or the vaccinations, or what? Why is that? You don't have to answer.
Yeah, no. It's yeah, a part of it is. It's because. Sorry. I don't know how to turn down Zello, but some of it is because of not being vaccinated, because a lot of my work I work all over Canada, so I can't fly now. A lot of my work was in Ontario, and then I switched companies because they offered me more money and a company vehicle, and I got a credit card and stuff from them. But our projects keep getting pushed around, and then I was supposed to go to one project in near Kitimat, BC. Then they found out I need to be vaccinated, so I couldn't do that one. But I'm going to Peace River Sunday for a job. I don't need to be vaccinated for that, but it's unfortunate because I'm a foreman, so I'm one of the bosses, and I can't do my job.
Yeah. I don't know if they did in your province, but they repealed the vaccination to go into like restaurants and stuff in Ontario. Just recently, like just I think yesterday. Did they do that in your province?
Yeah, actually, they did that maybe 2 weeks ago. The day after they did that, I went into a Japanese restaurant and enjoyed my food there. So it is, and people are wondering what we're fighting for, because they're like, the mandates are dropped. What the fuck are you fighting for? It's like, it goes beyond that now. We've opened up Pandora's box pretty much. Mormons don't work. Yeah, I do work, actually. I am very much on the tools.
Well, so I'm gonna try and get some other people on. But did you have any other comments or anything else to say?
No, I'm just hanging out.
Cool.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
Are you closing out each window, or are you having multiple windows?
I don't know, cause some of these people I can't see their faces. So, guys, if you're in the waiting room, put on your camera so I can see you and put you on.
I block my camera when I'm not using it. That's why you couldn't see me.
Cause it'll just show their profile picture. Guys, put on your cameras. No one wants to turn their camera on. There's like 6 people in the waiting room too.
And all their cameras are off?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not used to this. Just watching the chat. I don't know how you guys do this. With
It's hard. It's hard not to look at the chat because then your eyes are like drifting and stuff. So I try to just look at the other person.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, there's a lot of good people in there for sure, but you see the odd troll, and I myself, I'm not really used to that because, like I say, this is my second time actually being live and having hundreds of people watching.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
It was really hard when I was like actually at the Convoy because I'd be walking around and I would be like, you can't read the chat too much because it's full of trolls. But then there's like the odd like person who's trying to give you information saying, oh, go here, like there's something going on. So it's hard to like filter it out. Like you can't fully ignore the chat, but you can't read it too much.
You know what? Though I was watching, I was watching you, and then I was watching the chat and stuff, and I was like, there was a bunch of pigs on there. Like, couldn't even just you're like you're doing your own thing, and people are just being disgusting and nasty. It's like, and we're the bad people. We're the bad people.
Then there's like the real life trolls, which are kind of more entertaining.
It's kind of funny, like I said, that old guy that was giving us the finger and yelling at us. Honestly, I think he was just misinformed, and all he does is watch mainstream media. So what we did is we just kind of laughed at him and waved at him.
Yeah.
We didn't even, give him any negativity. But I noticed there was one guy that drove by and gave us. He was just had his finger out the window, and one of the guys in front of me was trying to smack his hand with his flag, and I was like, I was gonna intervene and say, hey, buddy, this is what they want. They want us to, get angry and do stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to maintain our sanity and continue to be friendly.
Did you find there was like a lot of counter protesters?
No, actually, like I said, I only did one convoy, and then I did another convoy. That's where I actually joined the march, so I've only done it twice.
Oh, hold on. There's someone. I don't know. Sorry, I'm just gonna add this person in, but.
Okay.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Charlotte. Hey, John. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Were you on Travel Fund last night, Diego?
I sure was, and this is just like you. It's my second time I'm doing this.
I guess you saw my me passing out and my leg in the picture in the video. I woke up and I was watching the rest of the video and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe, like, live.
I think I left a little before that, just before it would happen to me.
I don't know. I honestly, it's not even so much that I drank too much. Really, it's I pushed my body to the limit in terms of not sleeping enough. So when I combined my beers with not sleeping, I come
What, that kind of beer?
I've got some in here. But please, if I feel completely fine right now. But if for some reason I just pass out, just get me off the screen. I don't know why Travel Fund didn't do that. I told him, I messaged him on Facebook. I said, you can't cut my feed off if that happens.
Yeah, by the way, John, I agree with you. I like this format better as well. I don't like doing monologues. I prefer conversation.
Yeah, this is so unique to engage like this versus what I have been doing all my life, whereas I'm just commenting on videos and chats and stuff. But it's not the same. You're not getting that this kind of element out of just responding to someone. Get your face out there, speak, and I believe it's bigger.
Charlotte, I don't know if you know this, but Zot dropped in while we were online yesterday. I got to meet him. I got to meet him online for the first time.
Yeah,
I should say met. Why am I calling him Zot?
It's okay. Danny the trucker, I don't know if you know him. He still calls him Zod. I don't know. It's like Rad or Zod. I don't know. He's transitioning into Zod now.
I guess you have to have an alias, and at some point somebody's just going to say something in a live stream, and then, well, the name's out.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned this is your second time. Are you went on last night and you kind of got a feel for it, or?
Well, I went on last night because I like the format. Bunch of guys, we're all having a good time. We're just having a beer, or 3 or 6 in some cases. And
or more.
Well, and I like the format, and I like Travel 69. So I figured, okay, you know what? I haven't done this before. I'm an older guy, but not too old to try something new. So that's what it was, and I enjoyed it. And I got out of there before I got too silly.
Fair enough.
Travel Fun in the chat.
Oh, Travel Fun. Oh, hey, what's up, Jeff? Yeah, there he is. I don't know.
Get in the chat, Travel Fun. What are you doing?
Yeah, I see him in the chat sometimes in some other streams, but I don't know. I don't know if he's Jeff. If you want to come on, you're welcome to. Someone said, what's my star sign? I answered in the chat. I'm a Scorpio. So just I saw a couple of people asking, but so Diego, what's your opinions on the Convoy? I didn't ask you that yet.
Well, I kind of voiced some of that yesterday. It's a ripple effect. What happened in Canada? Very much like a tsunami. The weakest point of a tsunami is where it starts, and then it goes out from there. And this is kind of what's happening now. It reached the US. I follow quite a few streamers on that Convoy, particularly like OTR Survival. Matt already knows this, but anyway, to see that kind of amount of people when you ride along in a truck, and obviously virtually, but when you ride along in a truck and every overpass is packed with people waving flags, that should send a message, you'd think.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that flag they rolled out? It was like 100 feet by 60 feet.
Yeah, I did. They tried to get people underneath it to light it up, but that didn't work. I guess the flag was too thick. But yeah, that was a huge flag.
Yeah. Yeah, they were trying to get their cell phone cameras to light up underneath. So I noticed that. I noticed that it um, didn't work as intended, but I mean, it was still amazing.
No, it worked as intended. I mean, the whole thing was, bring out the big flag, and they brought out the big flag. I mean,
Yeah,
what
that
else do you
all
want?
worked out. Just the lights on the camera didn't work out right.
I mean, it's not like that flag would fit on the outside of my house.
Can you imagine a truck trying to fly that flag?
You'd have to have a pole that's about, what, 100 yards high?
Well, it was almost 60 feet. So,
I don't know what that is, and I'm a meters guy.
So let's see here. 60 feet, 2 meters.
20 meters, maybe?
Yeah, it's almost 20 meters. Okay. So that's the height of it. So yeah, you'd need to be maybe 80 feet.
Yeah, imagine that.
Not gonna happen though. It'd just be interesting. 24 meters.
So how do you guys think that this U.S. convoy is gonna end? I know they're saying that they don't plan on actually stopping, but they're gonna go around. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, well, nobody really knows what they're planning to do because they've kept this entire thing under close to their chest the entire time. I mean, people didn't even know where they were going to end up the next day. So, and that makes sense because I'm guessing they want to keep out certain groups that they just don't want to be part of. Mm-hmm. So nobody really knows what's going to happen when they get there. I'm more interested, regardless of if they just drive around or if they stop. I mean, if there's a place to stop, I'm sure they will, but I'm not sure if there is. I don't know that area at all. But regardless, I want to see the response from the government.
That's what they want. That's what they want. I mean, yeah, they're keeping everything on kind of a lockdown. But that's what they want. They just want to talk to the people in charge. Give us some fucking answers.
Well, I mean, the man in charge over there just made a statement that's pretty rough because the House voted against the Emergency Act, and well, the President of the United States says if the Senate doesn't vote that way, then he's got a veto. So it's not like he's trying to go the easy way out. So who knows what's going to happen? He could have easily said, okay, fine, we'll stop all of this and stop the mandates and take some of the wind out of the sail of the truckers, cross people. But he decided not to. So this could be interesting.
I think, honestly, they don't give a shit. They're going to do exactly what you did. They're going to use his playbook.
Okay, so there's a comment here. Plans on, okay, I don't know how this person knows this. So I'm not going to, with all due respect, I'm not going to believe it just because I see a comment. But it may be true. Mm-hmm. The 700 National Guard for being traffic cops wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
I heard the National Guard was said no to Biden, but I don't know. That's only speculation.
Come on, look at what happened in Ottawa, and Charlotte was there. That wasn't Ottawa police. I mean, for the most part. Yeah. Some of them were, but don't tell me that the men in green were from Ottawa.
No,
I
they
don't
got
believe that.
They
I don't
were,
believe that
I
for
don't
1
know.
second.
Hmm.
I heard they were like a special unit, but I don't know.
Some people were saying they were hired UN, like I don't know, not officers, but whatever, hired UN guards. And then some people
Yeah.
were saying they were Quebec cops. I'm not sure.
Well, again, those are rumors.
Yeah.
There were some rumors going around that somebody saw a UN airplane somewhere, and there, a lot of speculation, but nothing confirmed or proven. And again, I'm not into rumors. Rumors.
Well,
This is how
apparently
rumors spread. Somebody says something, and then somebody just takes it as the truth and spreads that. And before you know it, it's the telephone game, if you know what I mean,
Right.
Charlotte.
apparently they were using those UN planes land in that airport often for repairs. So I don't know.
Well, that's again, it's a rumor. It may be true. I don't know, but it may not be true. And I think the whole idea of having streamers on the ground is to show people the truth. No hiding, no obfuscation.
There's no editing. There's no, it's all live. So
no
you're
editing.
seeing it as it's
Absolutely.
happening.
No agenda. I mean, you got people like first responder that says very clearly when people ask him, "What do you think?" He says, "I'm not here to think. I'm here to document." That's that's journalism at its finest. I mean, it's such an easy thing to have an opinion on, and I'm sure he has one. I mean, without a doubt, he has one. But to be able to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm not getting involved. I'm just here to film and show the people what's really going on."
That's like Ottawa. He doesn't want to be a part of any politics or anything. He's like he says, I'm just a guy with a camera.
Yeah. And he was doing it first, like even before the Convoy, where he was just walking around Ottawa just filming it. So
Yeah, he said he's been doing it for like a year and a half. So he just I know he supports it, but he kept to himself. Minded, he didn't want to. I think once the cops came in, I think he got a little scared. But then I think he was like, you know what, I got to be in there.
Well, look, let's face it. Everybody that's live streaming down there supports it. They wouldn't be there otherwise. It's really that simple. There isn't anybody hidden from any group that doesn't like this, that is actually without edit showing live footage. I mean,
you know what? And the only time mainstream media was really there, like I saw reports from just people that were there that said that guy that had the Nazi flag, as soon as he put the flag up, I can't remember what media station it was. They put up their cameras, videotaped him, and then he disappeared, and they disappeared.
yeah, what does that tell you? I mean, it's pretty obvious.
Why? I don't understand why anyone even believes the mainstream media anymore. Like, yeah, they document some things and they're right with some things, but they started calling. They were saying the protesters were throwing gas grenades at the police, or whatever. The gas canisters or whatever.
You're talking about Ottawa now, right?
Yeah, they were saying that protesters were throwing
yet,
gas canisters at the police.
And yet, people like me were able to watch through the eyes of Matt and Charlotte, for instance, what actually happened.
But people still believe it.
Yeah, because they don't look for the information anywhere else. And that's the part. This is the part that needs to change. Sure, there are a lot of us now, and I mean a lot, that will rely more on unedited live streams than we would rely on the media. In fact, I mean, I count myself among those that don't rely on the media at all, on the mainstream media, that is. But there's a large percentage of the population, be it anywhere, I'm not just talking Canada or US, I'm talking worldwide, that haven't made that move yet. They're still kind of hooked on mainstream media. So when they want information, they still believe that the information they're getting is valid. They don't know any better. You understand? It's not like they don't want any better. They just don't know that an option exists. And I think this is the one thing, maybe even the most important thing that came out of Ottawa, that people are realizing they have options on where they get their news. And I think that is very, very powerful, because it'll bring the ratings of mainstream media down to nothing. Because you either go with the flow as a media company or as a news company, I should say, and give the people what they want, which is real news, or you die. That's capitalism. And if there's somebody out there that's doing that for next to nothing, then people will go to those people. It makes perfect sense. Without the commercials, the commercials in between.
A lot of the streamers did make quite a bit of money, but you got to understand, they're not working. They got to pay for their data for streaming all day, and they're giving out the truth. So I honestly, people donate, then they're entitled to that money. It's no one's business what kind of money they make.
You know what? I don't even care how much money they make. For all I care, Matt could be a millionaire by now, and I wouldn't hold it against him one bit.
Absolutely not.
I mean, it's not like I donated. It's not like I'm rich, so I couldn't anyway, but that's not the point. People have the money. They say, thank you for doing what you're doing. And you get a $20 donation here and a $10 donation there, and they all add up. Fine.
And
Fine. At the end of the day, they're still delivering a service that I personally want.
Yeah, and I mean, look at CBC getting $600 million for fucking lying to us. So.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want an example of how the free market works, all you have to look at is CNN. CNN has 5 viewers left. I mean, really, they're down to nothing. They had all these scandals, and they told all these lies, and now all these people are starting to wake up, and they're losing all their viewers. Now their CEO had to resign over something that can only be described as a silly excuse, obviously cover-up of some sort, but that doesn't matter. I mean, that's how it goes. Like I said, you either give the people what they want, or they will not watch you, and that goes for streamers too, by the way.
You guys can hear me all right, can you?
Yeah.
It's a little bit muffled, but I can hear you.
I'm seeing in the chat, people are saying they can't hear me that well.
Maybe I should let you speak.
No,
Yeah, I have some people waiting to go on. I'm just gonna add them. And-
and stopped it.
Hey, how's it going?
Shit. That, instead of using what wound up being practically a live Twitter feed of declassified
How are you?
intelligence on
I'm here.
imminent invasion would have
Yeah.
been a good idea concurrently.
That's great. Hey, look, I live in the United States, and I'm here. And I've been watching the convoy, and they're going to D.C.
And where are you
There's like
from?
10,000. I'm from Florida,
Okay.
and they're going to D.C., and they will probably go to the Beltway, which is 495 all around D.C. It goes through Virginia. I used to be from Maryland, and they're in Hagerstown. And I lived in I lived outside the Beltway, north of the Beltway, and they're going there. They're in Hagerstown, which was north of me, where I live in Maryland. I live in Florida now. I've been here for 22 years. But they're going, and there's like 10,000 vehicles going. So there.
Have you found that the numbers are like underreported?
Yes, ma'am. The mainstream media is lying, 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 and lying.
Well, there were up to even yesterday. The mainstream said there were 5 trucks, and the whole thing was dispersing.
Whatever.
I mean, I was watching the live stream just before this, and there are at least 250, 300 trucks there.
No, excuse me. If you go on YouTube and you follow Sasnak, you'll see how many trucks are there.
I actually do follow him.
In Hagerstown, Maryland, he actually asked the people, "Where's Merle Haggard live?" He said, "I'm in Hagerstown."
Can you turn down your TV in the background?
Oh no, my old man's watching it.
A lot of people are saying they're having a hard time hearing you.
Okay, sorry about your luck.
So, what was your opinion on the Canada, the Ottawa Convoy, and how does that compare to the U.S. Convoy?
Oh no, I love you guys in Canada. Thank you very much for getting us started.
My name's Diane. I'm an avid gardener.
Yeah, for sure.
I grow lots of pretty flowers.
Have you seen? I know there was some in Australia and France and stuff. Have you seen anything about those?
No, I haven't.
It's just like a little bowl of sunshine, to deliver a flower.
I was hoping they'd come down I-10 so I could go up to the overpass and wave my flag, but they didn't come to Florida. They didn't come anywhere near Florida.
So, I guess it's a question for all of you, but do you think this could end differently since there's more kind of like counter protest groups in the U.S. and also the police and just a bigger police presence in D.C.?
As long as I really want to. It's just been a godsend.
Okay, so I'm going to take a stab at this. Well, first of all, they can't go into Washington, D.C. That place is blocked, and that's probably a good thing because it gives the government one less excuse. And that was the excuse in Ottawa.
They're not going into D.C. because we know what's going to happen if they do that. We know they're going to be infiltrated by Antifa.
Okay, so be that as it may, they're not going there. So one less excuse for the government to say you're doing what they did in Ottawa, you're in front of the Parliament building, or in this case the White House, or whatever it may be, and you got to move. That's not going to happen. If they really intend to just drive around, there isn't really anything they can do legally, as far as I can tell.
No, the man that's in charge of the convoy said, I pay taxes to go wherever I want. And if I want to go into D.C., I'm going.
Is the one guy that has the flag?
His name is Brian.
The guy that has the flag on his trailer that came from World War
II veteran.
Yeah, he's the lead driver.
It was wrapped around one of the guys that passed away, and he says he's going to drive through DC. I don't know exactly where.
Going up the Constitution Avenue. Yes, I know it well because I used to be from Maryland. I live in Florida now.
So I'm sure some people will be slipping in through there, but I don't think it's not going to be anything like Ottawa.
Sean, it's another night of martial law, another night of curfew here.
No, there'll be people that'll break off and take a walk around, but it's not going to be an organized demonstration within DC. I don't see that happening.
The whole Europe will not survive. If Ukraine
And Yeah, speaking of organizers, what's your guys' opinion on the organizer? I keep on forgetting her name. I know I'm gonna get roasted in the chat. I think it's Tamara.
After the U.S. Embassy in Ukraine,
The organizer.
You're talking about the lawyer?
No, the organizer of the Ottawa Convoy who got
Oh,
arrested.
Ottawa. I'm sorry. I'm thinking the.
Yes, I'm like switching back and forth.
That mile-long convoy remains stalled. So it has been days. Many are wondering why you can't see any Russian soldiers in any of those satellite images.
I don't even know who the organizer in Ottawa was, which is a shame, by the way. But I honestly don't.
Left the city earlier today to visit a training camp with foreign fighters.
Yeah, Tamara Litt.
And yeah, that TV is really loud.
And then checkpoints throughout the city to protect the city and send
I can't do anything about it. My old man's watching the news.
He says he wanted the Russian soldiers to go to hell and learn the language and the history of this country. Sean?
Lucas, thank you. Now, Democrats
I can't.
home are drawing
I don't know how to do it. I mean, can you all tell me how to get rid of the background noise? I don't know.
Turn down the volume.
Well, I can't.
To the Ukrainian people fighting back against Russia's invasion, really? You know, reaction, Fox News contributors.
Is that better?
Tammy Bruce, Leo 2.0.
Yeah, that is
Okay.
look harder.
I'm talking live on a thing.
No comparison whatsoever between the host of democracy that you can find the Jim Crow Act and
There was another organizer who was arrested. I think it's Pat King. Did you guys
That was in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Nobody's been arrested in the U.S. yet.
Do you think it's possible that they might be?
I don't think so, because we're not going to get crazy.
Mhm.
No. It's all peaceful.
Yeah. And do you think it's a possibility that they're going to implement martial law? Sorry,
In America? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Tammy, I would argue the
I don't think so.
Because
We have guns. We have guns here.
Yeah.
We
That is
all
true.
have guns.
Yeah.
And they're not taking them. They're going to take the bullets first before they take the guns.
I can't hear this anymore.
All right, I'm going to go, guys, because my old man's complaining he can't hear the news.
Well, you
That's
can take it.
brainwashing him, but that's all right.
Well, that's what I want.
See you guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
How do I get out of this?
Yeah.
That was an experience. Yeah, you know, I saw you. You were about to break out laughing, and you almost had me going there. Oh, gee.
Oh,
Wow.
I saw you too at the end. I was like, oh, I can't.
Oh my god.
That's your comic relief.
That is very
Oh boy, oh boy. All right. I'm in
Here, let me,
tears. I hope the poor woman doesn't watch that back. Ah, boy.
Let me see.
Hey, at least we're having fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You have anybody else in the chat room that can top that?
I don't know. I know I have that I had on before. Let me see if I can get some.
Boy.
I don't know if this is a bot or not. Guys, wave in the chat so I know you're not a bot. Oh, okay. We got some people waving. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hi,
That
Charlotte.
sure doesn't look like a bot to me.
Yeah.
All human here. How are you guys doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I was just watching the stream and I wanted to tell you something. And I wanted to see no, I'm sorry. I need to rephrase this. Have you heard of a website called internetarchive.org?
I'm not. I might have. What is it?
It's like it's just basically an internet archive. Like you can get free books and get videos from like the 1950s. You can see like historical things that you won't really see like packaged for you the way that the internet has it for you. You know, when you like see articles and everything's like presented. It's more like the a little bit of the Wild West, but like I think it would be a really good idea when like all of this is over, or just save all of this content on an external hard drive and then upload that to internetarchive.org so future historians can see all of this in the case that this gets all taken down, because this is pretty good documentation.
There's a website called Wayback Machine. Is that similar to what you're talking about?
Oh, that's an awesome website, dude. Check that one out too.
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I know too.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of like backing all this stuff up on Zod is backing it all up on Rumble, just because there's less like censorship there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a cool idea though. So wait, where are you from? Are you from Canada?
Oh no, I'm American, all the way in California, like Southern California, like where, like stereotypical Californian stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. It's so cold up here.
How's the weather?
Dude, I've seen the streams and I would always hear you like shivering, and I'm like, I would just feel so bad for you.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I know, and then like your battery packs would get too cold, or like I saw you running, so the phone would get too cold, and I just felt so bad.
Yeah, no, I had to. I wasn't the battery packs. I don't know if it was that. Maybe those died sometimes. But I would have like 2 battery packs on me because one would always die, and then I'd have the cable, and I'd have it like coming out of here, and I'd be holding it like this so it wouldn't freeze because the cable would always freeze on me, and then my phone would die. Like it was so hectic, but
it is, man.
Hand warmers on the. I think Travel Funny had a hand warmer on his stuck to his tablet.
Yeah, I did that at the end, and then I was like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? But yeah, that was the one thing that worked. But it was I missed it though. It was crazy. It was so cold, but it was like so much going on. What do you think about the US one?
Okay, like I feel like it's more scattered, not in a mean way. It's just like it's just like you can't really document it the way that you were able to in Ottawa, because it was all in like, I mean, there was different convoys, but the one in Ottawa was like really special because it had like a different ambiance to it, if that makes sense. I mean, the American convoy is it has its own ambiance, like patriotic ambiance as well, but there's different convoys too. There's the People's Convoy, and I don't know the names of the other convoys. I've been just following the People's Convoy specifically, but
I think that's the main one.
Yeah, I feel like that's like the most like safe one to support, if that makes sense, because they're trying to keep it apolitical. I mean, at least the organizers, from what I've experienced, because I went on the first day in Adelanto, California when it first started, because like I wanted to film and document some stuff, and they just really wanted to like play it safe, talk to each like like the city officials if they can, like where they set things up, because the mayor was there too, and like in the starting point, so it was cool. Yeah,
I think that's one of the problems the organizers with the People's Convoy have, is that they don't really trust who is in these other convoys. That's their problem. And I completely agree, because I mean, they have very good control over what they're doing right now. You can see that there's not a bad soul in there. And what happens if they join with other convoys, where you suddenly may have people that may do exactly what you're not there to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You don't want to get
Like you said,
associated.
yeah, they want to get associated. They don't want to get associated with the other people. The same way the other people probably want to get associated with the People's Convoy. It's a tough situation to be in, and that is, I believe, one of the reasons why the organizers decided to keep their location secret and day to day. I mean, the drivers don't know where they're going tomorrow until tomorrow, and sometimes not until they even get there or close to getting there. I think that's the reason why they're doing it, because they just don't want anybody else to join.
We don't want anyone getting hurt either. So, because if you got counter protesters and they're blocking roads and shit, they don't want anyone, being hurt.
Well, that's the thing. If you have that, then the mainstream media will be all over it.
Oh yeah, they've made it very, very voiced that even if someone touches a truck, counter protester, the media is going to have their camera on that, and then that's all it's going to be focused.
Mm-hmm. I heard earlier in the convoy, I think a couple of days ago, I was talking to someone on here, and he said that the highway patrol or something, when they were going through Illinois, I believe, or Ohio, was saying that there was like all kinds of traffic, and the convoy was causing a lot of traffic, and he said that wasn't accurate. So I don't know. There could be already like media jumping on that.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. If you look at the footage of those places, those are 3-lane highways, and the only lane the convoy occupied was the right lane. So that's not an excuse.
Everything in their power to actually, they switched lanes based on where they were. They didn't want to cause traffic jams, and one of the areas that they did go through that caused a little bit of a traffic jam. Like I say, I sit here all day watching this shit and reading comments, and one of the truckers commented and said he travels that specific route all the time, and he commented on the live stream, and he said it's always busy and backed up. So it wasn't really.
Well, I want to read this comment here that Charlotte put up, and it says essentially what you're saying is that the people have been sufficiently terrorized by the government forces that they are unwilling to freely associate for fear of being labeled a terrorist. So my question is, who's saying that, and what does it really mean?
I think what he could mean is that I'm not sure if this is what he was saying, but in Ottawa, I know like the Freedom Convoy protesters were labeled like terrorists. That was the main one. That was like the excuse for them to implement the not martial law. No, I'm forgetting what it was. Sorry?
The Emergencies Act.
Yeah, the Emergency Act. So I think that was like, they were labeled like terrorists, misogynists, like racist, stuff like that. So that could be kind of what he's getting at.
I'm sorry, I don't take that as an argument. We have somebody here from the US, so let me say this. The cancel culture has been going on for quite some time now, and it didn't take the government to declare an emergency to do it. And I believe that is what this commenter is saying, that if you don't do as you're told, you get canceled. Well, in the US, that's been going on for years.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty scary. I actually tried telling my cousin about the one in Canada, and when I was talking to her, she didn't really like listen, and then she asked me, Daniela, what side do you tend to vote on? And like she was just like really wanting to know what my political stance in politics was, and then it turned into a political debate. And it wasn't even about the convoy anymore. And I'm not gonna talk about my politics, but I mean, I think this shouldn't be political because this is about people's freedoms of choice, and how there's infringement on the Charter of Rights happening in Canada. There's, people's basic rights are being violated, and that's not okay.
Well, what you were saying is absolutely true, there's no way that you cannot make this political, because at some point you have to look for the source, the root cause, and that always tends to be, well, I'm just going to say one party or the other. And I have my opinion on that, but I'm not going to voice it here. So it is in essence a political issue. I know we don't want it to be. I don't want it to be either. It should just be, the Constitution, you're supposed to be free, and that's that. Well, there's somebody or some people that decided that maybe the American people or the Canadian people shouldn't have the right for that freedom. And those people are very much in politics. I'm sorry.
I completely agree with. Unfortunately, that's who's causing all of these problems are the politicians. So there's no way to get around it. It's gonna be political, just the way it is.
I have a question for you guys. Like if how different do you think things would be if there was a reliable media source that everybody was able to access? I mean, no, it's there, right? There's reliable sources here, but if everyone was aware of it and everyone was like informed, how do you think how different do you think politics in general would be?
I think I understand your question perfectly.
Yeah.
And the answer to that is really, really simple. If you know you're going to get caught, you're not going to steal. It is that simple. If the politicians know that everybody's watching everything they're doing all the time and they cannot get away by farting, then it's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we're in this situation is because they've been getting away with a lot of things for a very long time. And now they embolden themselves to say, okay, we can do this. We've done this for years. We've done this for decades even. There's no reason why we can't continue to do it. Until somebody says, yeah, there is. Look at your window. There's 20,000 people outside your door saying, no more. But yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have a reliable, journalists, a real journalist like the world used to have? Wouldn't it be nice? But sorry, that time is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, we are now circling back to that with the new era of technology and streaming and live streaming and all that. So there is that. Everything goes in cycles, and maybe we're on the positive end or on the start of the positive end of the cycle now. At least I'm hoping that's true.
Yeah. I want to see Charlotte and Matt just be really successful journalists in the future. I mean, they're already really good journalists right now. They're like they risked a lot to tell us the truth. And I mean, other streamers in Ottawa. Like I watched other ones too, like Viva Fry. What was it? Ottawax. Well, I mean, you get the gist. So
yeah,
I mean,
no, Viva Fry is completely different to Charlotte and Matt in the sense that Viva Fry doesn't give a shit. He will actually say what he thinks, and I think maybe Matt is a little more leaning towards that, but Charlotte, I think, is more like, you know what, maybe I ask a question and I just let the other person talk, and
Well,
I
I
don't
just
really
want
have
to be
to.
like impartial. You know what I mean? I don't think
that.
journalism is really effective when you're going and putting your kind of like lens on everything. You know what I mean? Like I just want people to be able to talk and have a
I
platform.
respect that.
And that's completely fine, but I think then you need to change your format to something more like what we're doing now, so you can actually have other people discussing these things like we are doing here, and you just kind of moderating. You know, that works really, really well. If you're talking to just one person, then what you're getting is a monologue, and I think that's just not it. It doesn't bring the best out of the person you're talking to. That's just not my opinion. I just think if you have a real person to talk to and actually have a conversation, then you may get to places that you didn't think the interview was going to go. That's not necessarily a good thing, but more often than not, it's not a bad thing. That, again, my opinion, it's not my channel, so who am I?
No, but that's fair. Yeah, to have to be able to have like a dialogue.
Well, yeah, because we can kind of bounce off each other. It's a little bit like humor. Somebody makes a joke, somebody else remembers.
Oh, looks like he's frozen. Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? About having sort of more like incorporating like this kind of thing into the channel more, where I have like a bunch of people and we can all sort of have a dialogue about a topic.
I mean, I like everything that you guys are doing now, and like I noticed that you guys are really good at learning quickly and adapting. So I already believe in you guys that you guys are going to be successful and you're going to learn what works the best. So leaving it up to you. I don't think I said anything much.
No, but yeah. Thank you, and thanks for supporting. Sorry, I don't remember your name in the middle, but what do you think about what he said?
What
Diego just sort of, sorry? Yeah, what Diego said just before.
Honestly, I didn't hear everything he was saying because I was looking at your chat.
Oh, okay. It's all good. He was.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, sorry. Just elaborate on what he was saying again.
Just sort of to have more people like this sort of thing more on the channel, like more people.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, actually, I did hear that part. I did mention that I think this is awesome, having multiple cameras set up and we have multiple personalities and people can see this. We got 700. What do we got? 750 people watching this. 745. So instead of just one person talking or two people talking, you've got multiple people talking, and I think it's more entertaining and informative for the people watching. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a bunch of other people in the queue, so I might as well just add some more people on then. Let me see.
Yeah, when we were with Travel Fun, we had 8 people.
Hello.
Yeah, and I know I had you on before, but so I'm gonna put some other people on because I've just had a bunch of people waiting here.
Yeah, thanks for adding me. So just to comment on what you were saying, I don't know. I think you have to experiment with the format. I think adding a lot of people and having like a panel discussion, that makes sense. But I think when you're a one-on-one interviewer, I think you actually are very good at being impartial. Yeah, you ask the question and you let the person talk it out. Yeah, and that is what journalism is. Yeah, because I think I don't know who said that journalism isn't a vocation; it's an activity. Yeah, you basically go in there. What's going on? You show what's going on, and you keep as impartial as you can. And this exactly, if we would have that kind of journalism, all this BS that's going on right now in the world would go away in a heartbeat. Because the amount of lies that is coming out from like the mainstream media, especially the ones funded by the governments, Jesus. It's the reality is so distorted that all they do is basically give you, here's how you need to think about it, and here's the clip that'll just make you think that way. You're doing the exact 180 of that. You're asking the question and letting the whoever's talking talk it out, and that's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the panel thing might be good. Yeah, but you also have to moderate. I'm talking too much at the moment, so maybe.
I mean, it's okay. You just got on, so
Yeah, I know.
say what you need to
But
say.
I'm capable of verbal diarrhea, so yeah, I think I've said my piece.
Yeah.
So I just want to ask you guys, strategy and logistics for even people in the chat. How do you think we can keep? I mean, how Charlotte and Matt can, and other people in Zod if they have them. How do you think we can support them going to other places and covering other things? Like, how do you think that's possible? Because and keep like, reporting things in this format. Like how to make it easier, or how to make it like what do they need exactly? If we know exactly what they need, then it might be easier to help them.
What do you mean, like on this format, as in on StreamYard, or what do you mean?
Like well, I mean, just
I think she wants to place you. I think she wants to send you to physical places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I wasn't understanding. I mean, yeah, the thing about I'm down, of course, to go to like anywhere in Canada. Like I was talking about, if any more freedom convoys happen in Canada and the US, I was gonna go down there. The main like issue with the US is the fact that the trucks aren't going to be stopping, as far as I know. Like it's not like a concrete plan that I can follow and go to the trucks like it was in Ottawa. It's kind of different. So it's kind of like logistics stuff there, as well as the fact that like if I'm arrested in the US, it's going to be a lot more trouble than if I were to get arrested here, like we saw with Matt.
I think we need more of a network of people that are gonna. So again, journalism is the activity; it's not the vocation, right? Whoever's like wherever stuff's going on, we have like people just impartially documenting it and showing it where it is happening. Because, I mean, I'll tell you, like the way the Canadian government just clapped down on us, that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically booted us, kicked us out, even though it was as peaceful as it possibly can be. So, I mean, I feel that we're going to win, but I think this is going to require some sacrifice. Some people are going to get locked up. Some people are going to go to jail. This is not going to be all butterflies and rainbows and it's going to be over in 2 months and the government is just going to fold. I think what they showed us is we are not going down. We're not. So, do you think Justin Trudeau in Canada is just going to one day wake up and say, "Oh man, I'm such a jerk. I'm just going to hand in my resignation"? This guy isn't leaving without scratching his fingernails and being dragged out of his office, right? And I'm sorry, there's a lot of us.
A lot of videos.
We're gonna get zapped. Yeah.
A lot of videos
of us are gonna get locked up.
When he was younger, and he was ignorant even when he was a teenager. So what we see there and what we see now, he's not going. He's
not quitting.
He's got tunnel vision. He's looking in one direction and that's it. He doesn't give a fuck.
But it's not just him, dude. Yeah, it's everybody. Look, he got 184 or 6 votes from his entire party and NDP voting for the Emergencies Act. All of these guys are in lockstep. If you remove Trudeau, you just get another dude. Yeah. We would have, like, if Aaron O'Toole would have won in Canada, would have been different face, same shit. All of the parties that we have currently in our Canadian Parliament, they're all traitors and they don't give a shit about us. They don't give a shit at the least.
They're
This is
not
gonna
living
suck.
for a living. They're getting a paycheck no matter what. So they don't give a shit.
No. It's even worse than that. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't know. They're doing stuff because this is all on us, by the way. We've been letting them get away with this for way too long. We haven't been paying attention. We haven't paid attention to what they're teaching our kids. We haven't been paying attention to the values that are being there. Like, we've let a lot of stuff get taken over. We have the CBC that's getting funded $1.something billion, plus they got the $600 million bailout that we're talking about. They have so much money, and they're basically covering for whatever the government is doing. Look at Trudeau's answers. There are no answers. Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about me, you, whatever, right? And whoever's gonna stand up, people are gonna start getting zapped. It'll start with cancellations, bank accounts, job loss, whatever, right? There's gonna be sacrifices that need to be made. And like, I was watching the live streams of the truckers. Some of these guys are backed against the wall, and they were willing to stay there even when their fuel was stolen. And I've seen a dramatic moment where fuel was being stolen from a trucker, and he's like, well, crap, I guess I'm just gonna freeze to death, because it was like minus 25 degrees centigrade, and the dude was gonna just like freeze to death. This isn't gonna go without casualties, guys, right? And hopefully it's not going to be casualties in terms of like deaths, but there are going to be people that are going to get dinged financially. They're going to get their careers lost. There's going to be, I think eventually your channel probably is going to get zapped on YouTube, right? So you got to figure it out. You got to start thinking, okay, I got to go Rumble. I got to go this. I got to go this. You got to start thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, guys, like, sacrifices are going to have to be made. And like, if we both in the US and Canada are thinking that this is going to just like magically go away in 2 months if we just stay strong, no, this is going to fucking suck.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to blow, and people are going to lose jobs, and it's going to blow. But we can, like, if we lose, think about the alternative of the tyranny that could come on after that.
Yeah.
If we don't get stuff done in 5 years of this total erosion, how bad could it get? Just mentally play it out. It's gonna blow, but just don't freaking give up.
All you have to do is look at other countries: China, North Korea, Russia, all Africa. I don't understand why people aren't looking at that, and they think that it's not going to happen to us.
Because people think it couldn't happen here.
Mm-hmm.
Because so I've said it before, like, I was born under the Iron Curtain. I was 8 when the communism fell in Poland when I was a child, right? So I vaguely remember how effed up it was. It was bad, yeah. But I can tell you one thing: Polish people are not different from any other people, and it happened there, yeah. So it can happen here, yeah. We're not special. We don't have superpowers. North America doesn't make you better than everybody else. But we still have a decent chance. We just have to be aware that sacrifices are going to have to be made. And I think the truckers have shown that they are willing to sacrifice stuff. They're willing to take their truck, which is like $100,000 of value, and have it impounded and potentially have it lost. And they some of them just stayed on Wellington Street till the very end and got dragged out of there, knee kicked in the head for like peacefully saying no. But they were willing to take it all, and like this one guy said, he's gonna freeze to death, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get shaky, right? But hopefully, it's not. Like, it could be way worse, right?
A lot of them have.
I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, yeah, but I'm trying to kind of give you a reality check that this ain't gonna be butterflies and the rainbows, all right? This is gonna blow. And they're not giving up. They're not quitting. Like, the Canadian government isn't just going to hand in their resignation. And I think we know that by now.
I'm willing to go fucking pretty much live in a tent if I have to. If I lose everything, I otherwise we're fucked. Because if we don't do something,
Yeah.
we're fucked. Like
if we realize that we are fucked, then we will do whatever it takes. Yeah. I don't care if I'm effed, but like I can't have my kids be effed. So
that's what I'm worried about is my son, my 8-year-old son. Why the like?
Yeah.
No, I'm so terrified for him.
So here's the solution. If you have all the moms figure out what's going on, like what is the mama bear, right? Once you mess with the bear cubs, like men, for example, when we get mad, we get angry or whatever. But if you mess with the mother and if you make her aware that this isn't about us, it's about our children, when the moms all over the world understand, hey, yo, they're after my kids and their future, it's over. Because like one thing I can tell you that I figured out about women, once they go, they don't stop. No matter what happens, you can put arrows in them, whatever, they never. Once they make a decision that they're fighting for the cubs, you're done, man. Because if you do not kill the mother bear, she's gonna rip you to shreds. And this is one thing. Like if the mama bears go out, we win. Yeah. So I don't know how whatever moms you have in your network, convince them that these people are after your kids, and then they'll figure out a way, right? Because there isn't going to be one vector of this protest movement that we went through. It's going to be multiple. We're going to overwhelm them by attacking them or making their life difficult on multiple angles, right? Like Charlotte is good at circumventing the media, right? Because what she is doing is showing the truth. So she's direct competition to Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, right? I have my own skills. I'm going to do something else, right? Some mama bear is going to go to a school board and rip somebody a new one. Somebody's going to do something else. There's going to be so many of us coming on so many angles that they're just going to short circuit these people at the top because there's so few of them and there's so many of us. And we can also take turns, right? You go hard for a week, you take a break, somebody else goes hard for a week. And like, this is how we're going to win it, right? Because by having them short circuit, not knowing what the hell is going on, they can't open all the letters. They can't figure out everything. They can't deal with all the lawsuits and this going on and that going on and that. This is how we're going to win. We have to overwhelm them. And everybody who has a brain needs to basically sit down, take 20 minutes off the devices or whatever, think what you can do to make it better or to make it harder for these a-holes that are messing us up. And then the avalanche of these ideas is just going to overwhelm them, right? I don't know what we're going to do, but there's so many of us and people are smart, so we can figure this out.
I actually have an idea, but I feel like someone else may be more talented to do it. So if anyone's watching this right now, if you are really good at making funny, like taking clips of something and making it funny or just making funny jokes, but like, I wonder if you can take the content from the streams and do something like that and just make it like a certain thing that people want to watch. Oh, these are like the little clips from the Ottawa convoy, and people see like the truth. Like it's just like very subtle. Also like well, who was I gonna mention? Okay, there was a really popular Vine that came out years ago. I forgot his name, but he's really popular. But he made this one clip where he just said, "Oh, dog," and then he looked straight into the camera and said, "Dick Cheney profited from the Iraq War," and then like he like repeated it. Like it's something that I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and like it never registered in my head, but now that I started like, what's the word, waking up, I watched the clip again with seriousness, and I'm like, oh, so if someone's really talented at making that kind of content, just like kind of being a funny comedian, but just kind of letting that in there so you don't really get censored, you can reach more people. The way that Suzanne Collins did with the Hunger Games. So when I first read it as a 13-year-old, I was in it for the romance. Oh, Katniss and Gale. Oh, or Peeta. Oh my gosh. Oh, is she gonna win? But then after something happened to me, I went through this experience in my life and it got me to look at the world differently. And I read those books as a form of therapy. So when I reread it, there was a lot of references and like connections that I saw, like how the media is, like how the media in the book, like how they covered things and how there was a lot of lies going on. I'm being very vague because I don't want to get spoilers for the book, but now that you guys are watching this, read those books again, and there's also audiobooks you can find. Just like see the connection and see what the author was trying to put in there and get you to like realize it's amazing.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there's a lot of material and stuff that's been done that's like so appropriate to what's happening. There, censorship was to the max in communism countries, right? And exactly like what you're saying, people used to go under it by making a joke about a seemingly non-related issue. They would basically pick a topic that doesn't look like it's have anything to do with politics, and they would make a joke, and that's how it would like go under the censorship. And then everybody knew what it was happening. Everybody knew what it was about. One of my favorite movies from the communist times in Poland is called Sex Mission. When they basically, the plot is that there's a big war, all males are dead, and females take over the world, and they're under a completely lying and tyrannical government that says that women are the best and males your enemy, right? Like, you can download it probably from archive.org or whatever. Like,
I've actually
I don't know
seen
where
that
I got it.
movie.
Yeah. Sex Mission, I think it's from 1984. This movie, like, I rewatched it the other day. Like, it's so applicable to what's going on right now and the brainwashing that's happening to us as a society. Yeah? Because there's also a thing where the females there need to take a specific drug that makes their sexual drive go toward work, right? It's a comedy movie. I don't know how the hell it went under the censorship and they allowed it to release it under a communist regime. But if you watch this thing, you go like, yeah, this is just basically mocking the government, right? So yeah, so there's a lot of material that you can basically go back that people have done. Like, go check out the Eastern European places, right? I'm pretty sure it's a gold mine of stuff. You're gonna watch it with subtitles and go like, holy crap! Like, this is so applicable. It's ridiculous. Yeah. So this isn't a problem. This is a new problem for people in North America, but it's not a new problem to people. This has been solved before, right? Humanity has cracked it, so don't get discouraged. And there's some gold information where people have spent years figuring out how to break the system, right? So
even like Family Guy, I know a lot of those jokes, like some of them went over my head when I used to watch it when I was a kid, but some of them are actually kind of like if you rewatch it, some of them are kind of like intellectual, like they're kind of commentary, which is something that I didn't expect to see.
Is the microphone on my headset working?
Yeah.
It's not picking up anything else?
No, it's good.
It's better than it was? Okay.
I had another question for you. Sorry, I don't know your name, but in the bottom left, you said that earlier you said you know the government, the current Canadian government, they're not gonna go down without a fight and they're not gonna resign. So I know like recently they repealed the vaccine mandates and they're talking about repealing the mask mandates, and a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, Doug Ford, his term is ending, like he wants to do something, he wants to get reelected. Do you kind of think that too?
I hate him. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
And so the problem isn't the vaccine mandate. The problem is what you should check out is the biometric ID that they're trying to put on us. They're trying to put in Canada a ID system that's going to tie you to everything, right? And God forbid you have a bad thought one day, you're out of the system. Deal with it. What the truckers were protesting, and let's be very clear about that, they were protesting the federal government and federal mandates, which are, if you're not vaxxed, you cannot get on a plane, you cannot get on a train, You can't leave Canada. Has this been changed? No. Is there any movement on this? No. Is there any timeline? No. So the federal government, they've been incentivizing our provincial governments by giving them a lot of money in Canada to start doing the provincial thing so that we can finally impose a whatever. We're going to say it's the provinces. It doesn't matter who actually does it, but the idea is you have a social credit score. You have this one thing that binds you to whatever other services. This is what we need to fight. Don't track me. You're not putting a tracker on me. You're not putting a tracker on my kids. No. No, no, no. And the travel ban, this is the thing. We have a prior Newfoundland, I think, a premier of Newfoundland. He has sued the federal government. His name is Brian Peckford. He sued them specifically for the federal mandate for banning of travel. In our Charter of Rights and Freedoms, it says black and white that if you're a Canadian citizen, you have the right to leave and enter Canada as you please. This is still mandated that if you don't get the thing, you can't leave Canada. You can come back with being quarantined and whatever, but you can't leave. Why can't I leave?
Mm-hmm.
It's my constitutional right. So this federal mandate needs to go, and it hasn't, because he kicked us out of Ottawa, right, with stormtroopers. And the other thing is that they're trying to put a federal-wide tracking, biometric ID, whatever that is. We need to fight it at all costs. It's none of your business who I am. It's none of your business to put my insurance information, my medical information, everything bound to one central database. And if I'm on the wrong side of thought, you just say you don't exist anymore, right? This is what they're trying to do. And we cannot allow them to do this. If we let them do this, then people will start disappearing.
I mean, I don't know if I don't want to say that they're winning, but they're already doing this in China, and I think Sweden, or where is it? Can't remember. They're already doing this social credit system.
Of course. And how's that working out? In China, it's ridiculous, right? If you bad speak about the government, you're minus 50 points. If you give a kidney, you're plus 100. Well, you only got 2 kidneys, mate, and you can't even give like more than one. So it's effed up. It's effed up, right? And if you're below a certain amount of points in China, you start losing access to stuff, right? So it's messed up. And they're trying to do the same thing to us, right? And this is why I'm saying, guys, there's going to be a time where sacrifice is needed. Yeah, like look at Tamara. She understood that. She sacrificed herself. Yeah. At the moment, they're not going to put her. They're not going to crucify her. They're not going to put her in the firing squad. What they're trying to do to her is keep her in jail for a couple of weeks. They're going to make her life miserable. Then they're going to cancel her from whatever they can. They're going to brand her. They're going to make it difficult for her to do banking. And her life is going to be miserable until we overturn this. Or until we, as the people, kind of hold her up and help her out. But the government is going to do everything to destroy her life. And they're doing it right now. So some people in our society have already understood sacrifice is a necessity. We're going to have martyrs. We're going to have people that need to sacrifice themselves. It's going to suck. But, it ain't over. This is just beginning, by the way. So.
Do you have any mods, Charlotte?
I used to. I don't right now, no.
Yeah, I might want to look into
Yeah, I know.
A couple. I shouldn't be reading it, but I want to involve these guys as well, so I'm reading what they're saying. But you got some trolls in there that are just being retarded.
Yeah, you got to filter out a lot of the the stuff that some people say.
I mean, it doesn't hurt my fucking feelings. I don't give a shit. But this isn't. It's not really what we need in this platform.
Guys, don't argue with an idiot, yeah? Because first they bring you down to their level and then they beat you with years of experience. Just
Yeah,
have to ignore.
absolutely. When you argue with
ignore.
an idiot, it just makes two of them. So
Yeah. So they're gonna say what they need to say.
yeah. No, it happens all the time. So it is what it is. I'm totally used to it. But if we can control, you know, a little bit of, you know, you promoting censorship. Well, I mean,
sorry, you were gonna say something in the bottom right.
Oh yeah, I have two questions for people here and in the chat. So one is, has anyone read the Gulag Archipelago? I'm planning on reading it, and I learned that the guy who wrote it was jailed and was sent to the. I'm getting an echo. Sorry, to the one of the gulags, and he documented everything that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. That book. So I heard. I'll confirm it after I look into it, but this is what I heard. I heard that after he wrote that book, and it made its rounds around the world. Like it kind of caused the fall of the Soviet Union. Is that true?
It had a major contribution to it, yes.
Wow.
And you know, spoiler alert, what he said is it happened because we all let it happen. We're all guilty here, ladies and gentlemen. It happened on our watch. We weren't paying attention to what the politicians are doing. We weren't paying attention what our school boards are doing. We weren't paying attention what our kids are being taught. We all effed up. These systems don't get put in place. They get put in place because people are scared and they don't want to say it. They're afraid of getting canceled. They don't want to get fired. They don't want to do this. This is basically the moral of the story. We all are guilty. If you want to find somebody guilty of where we are, look in the mirror because it's you.
I admit that.
Now that we admit it, we can start figuring out, okay, we are screwed, we've effed up, now we can start digging ourselves out of this. But this isn't a 2-week long process.
Something that you said earlier reminded me of this video that I watched. It was a discussion between Jordan Peterson and Brian Peckford. They were talking about politicians that didn't want to get canceled, and also how some policies were based on polling. And I could be wrong, correct me on that. But
they are in Canada for sure.
Yeah, was it Peckford or Peterson? But no, Peterson. He said that he thinks that, well, you can correct me, but he thinks that people should, if we want to prevent this, normal people should go and run for office. And I know it's really hard to get in there, but people have this, they're pessimistic and nihilistic that even if I run for office, I'm still not going to get in, or bad things are still going to happen. And I think I remember Peterson calling that like selfish or something. I could be wrong. Oh no, arrogant. Yeah. But so basically, let me just reword this. So, would it work if just normal people, like if everybody just started running for office, we could just start at the local level and just make sure that the people are in, so we can prevent this before it gets worse?
We already said that, at least in Canada, the government, the federal one, is not quitting. I think it's clear. There's no way Trudeau is handing in his resignation. This guy is getting either something horrible happens and he needs to resign, or he's going to be scratching his fingernails as he's getting dragged out of that office. There's the only two options that I see. And the only way we can turn this around is from the bottom up. Yeah, and don't think about running for prime minister. Aim lower, right? Go for the local municipality. Go for a school board. Go for something low level that you can score, that you can actually sit down and in 20 minutes write a plan. Okay, this is what I do, and I can nail this. And if we do a lot of that, that's how we get rid of this. We might have to live with Justin Trudeau for the next 4 years. But think about it. If we do nothing, he's got 3 more left. So it ain't that bad. But how different would the landscape be if people just go for the local positions right now, right this second? That 3 years from now, we have a lot of local stuff. He ain't that strong anymore. Yeah. If we go and cower and we do nothing in 3 years, and he just keeps beating people down and shutting down bank accounts and canceling people and putting in bills that censor online speech, which is he's going to do that. He's going to censor online stuff. Then what's our position going to look like in those 3 years? Yeah. So we got to go from the bottom up. That's the only way we're doing anything.
I think it's unfortunate because a lot of the people that actually care don't want to be in that position. So,
dude, like we don't want to do this, but just play it in your mind. If we don't do this, where the hell are we going to be 5 years from now if we don't? Where's your 8-year-old son? So when your 8-year-old son's going to be 18 and everything's going to get effed, completely effed, he's not going to have any options. He's going to ask you, hey, Dad, when this shit was going off the rails and I was an 8-year-old kid and I didn't understand anything, what the hell were you doing? Were you just like watching freaking stuff on the internet, or were you actually doing shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to wake people up. We can't do this overnight. So,
no.
I mean, this is the beginning of kind of waking people up. So it's unfortunately it's going to be an ongoing battle, regardless if I actually do anything else other than what I'm doing right now. But like I've told Charlotte and some others, this is the second time I've ever put my face on webcam. I don't like to be in the spotlight. I would rather just be left alone. But this, I mean, it's getting fucking weird right now. So it's time for me to do something. And this is a lot more. This is a lot more than than what I was doing. So,
and that's awesome, because here's the thing: there's so many more of us than there is of them.
Oh,
anybody doing something, we have the force multiplier effect. If you go to your neighbor and you convince them that things are effed, and they start thinking about it, you might not necessarily be the one that's going to do stuff, but if it clicks in their brain, and they're this one. I'm going to go back to the example of the mama bear. The mama bear that finally it clicks in their head that they're after your kids and they're messing with their minds and they're trying to make them weaker. If she figures this out, the amount of like motivation she can get out of this, like she might be the person that's going to run. And she might run for the MP and hand their asses to them at some point, right? Because it clicked. Because you walked to that person on a Saturday and you tell them this thing. And it clicked in their brain, holy crap, they're trying to mess with my kids. Yeah. I don't like, we need to be also unkillable from the perspective that there's going to be so many of us that if somebody gets canceled, there's going to be people that are going to get canceled. There's going to be people that are going to get fired. There's going to be people that are going to get put to jail. But whatever. This is the beautiful thing, because the government is trying to make this big deal out of Tamara Lich or Pat King. Dude, there's
scare
thousands, tens of thousands of Tamara Liches and Pat Kings all over the place. This movement doesn't have a single head. You can lock in 1,000 people, and there's going to be 100,000 people more.
Right? And it's waking up people. Like, I mean, I've been a kind of a, I wouldn't say so much a silent voice. I voice my opinion a lot on Facebook, and currently I'm actually in the Facebook penitentiary for 30 days. for calling Jagmeet a cunt. So, but like I say, for me to come on here and show my face, I honestly, like, I'm such an introvert. I keep to myself. So it's not just me waking up. It's fucking tons of people, and it's gonna take some time, but it is what it is. We're just gonna have to keep going with the flow.
I had a question for the girl in the blue hoodie, the bottom right. So I don't know anyone's name, so I'm just gonna say, or not blue hoodie, purple hoodie. Sorry. So you said you live in the U.S., right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see more sort of? I mean, I guess it's more like state run than like federal laws there in the States. But do you see kind of more like government control there than what you've seen in Canada? Or is it sort of more lax?
It's hard to say because there's different counties, and I actually live in like a strangely like an area that's not really for the masks. I mean, there's people that have been like not. Well, we just had a mask mandate lifted a couple days ago. Was it yesterday in California? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what either it was for my where I live or the whole of California. But okay, so in LA, it's insane. My cousin, she goes to college there, and she couldn't get ice cream this one time because she forgot her Vax Pass. So and there's simple things that you can't do in LA, but I can't be more specific and accurate about it because I'm just getting the information from her. So I don't know all the nuances, but it's a little insane over there. So yikes. But where I live, you can still go to the store. You can still do things. Sometimes there's certain stores that they won't let you in unless you have a mask. And you know what's interesting? Because I told you of the area that I live in. Like one time I went into a Target and there was this guy, and I hate to use this term. But you guys know what the term soy boy is?
I've heard it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a guy that's a little bit emasculated in the way that he's not really confident about himself, and then kind of uses authority to kind of compensate for that. I hope that, if that makes sense, a little bossy, So I was walking in, and there was this guy that kind of had that stance, and like I didn't. So I had my mask on. I went in, but I found more of like that guy, like that, like workers, right? I found more of them inside the store, and they were just like standing at the front, kind of like looking at people, like they were looking at me, and I was like, okay, I had my mask on, but then when I looked in the store, there's people like just ignoring it. So it's like mixed. So, and I went to church for Ash Wednesday. Was it yesterday? Today? No, 2 days ago. I'm sorry, guys, but there was like half people wearing masks, half of the people not doing it. So it's like it's still divided in California, at least where I live. But like in areas, I feel like Sacramento would be the same as like Los Angeles because it's a big city, and it's a different culture just depending on where you live. So that's all I gotta say.
So it's more like based on the county you're in, whereas in Canada it's more federal. Yeah. Yeah, no, I've heard like, so you said your sister couldn't get ice cream without the Vax Pass. Is it like a QR code or it's on your phone?
I think so. I think it's a QR code. Yeah, it was my cousin. Yeah, she couldn't get ice cream, and she was double vaxxed, but she didn't have the evidence to show, so she couldn't get in. And she was like really pissed about that. And I think you need to be double vaxxed. That's what I know, but don't depend on me.
Double vax to get ice cream?
I mean, in that specific store, I guess. I know there was a restaurant in Newport Beach. That's not LA, but it made the news. This one guy who ran a restaurant, he said you can't come in unless you have proof that you're not vaccinated. It was a funny thing. I think it made it on CNN too. It's funny.
Really.
I
Yeah.
think I've seen that.
Yeah.
And
So-
also, yeah, for the news, like mainstream media in Canada, for the most part, it's like 2 channels. It's CBC and CTV, and they're sort of like, the stories that they air are like for the most part like the same. Like they talk about it with the same kind of angle. Like, so pretty much there's one news source in Canada. I know there's like Fox, which is like more right wing, and then there's CNN, which is more left wing. Do you find there's more like variety in the US?
Okay, can you like excuse me for like 30 seconds because I want to show you guys a book that I have about that. Okay, I'll be back really quick.
You know,
I dropped my phone.
it's funny because Fox News is actually during the Ottawa protest. I don't watch Fox News that much, but they were the only ones actually telling the truth. So I know a lot of people don't like Fox News, but they were telling the truth.
My bad, guys. My bad. I had it connected to my headphones, and I just got excited, and I just forgot. So forgive me. I actually was on the stream. Was it on the 23rd? I don't know how many days that was, but shoot. Sorry, guys. This is called The Movie Business Book, and this is a model showing all media relations. And I don't think you can see it very well, but we got Fox, Warner Bros. Okay, look, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. There's a lot of networks that are interconnected, and like you said, Charlotte, like Fox tends to show more right-wing stuff, CNN more left-wing, MSNBC I would say kind of like leans towards that as well. And it's really hard to find something very impartial. And even if they're against each other, sometimes they're still talking about the same topics. And there's some topics that do not get talked about. And so that's why I usually watch streamers. So I watch Tim Cast IRL. He's more libertarian, but he brings different guests on, so you get to hear different points of views. And he always tells you to kind of think for yourself. And the thing that I love about him, well, not that I love about him, but I see that people hate on him. So if you're extreme right, you call him like you call him lefty, or if you're on the extreme left, you call him like alt-right. So he agrees with things on certain sides, but you can't really pinpoint him somewhere unless you're really far in a ideology. Then you're going to think on the opposite side.
The media shouldn't be political at all. They should be posting the facts, the truth, not
like Charlotte.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why these live streams are gaining momentum, because people are sick and fucking tired of these clowns lying to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And picking one side. You don't pick one side. You got to look at everything.
Yeah. I mean, definitely. That's what I try to do. I say it all the time, like just form your own opinions based on the information that you gather. So
yeah, that's why I think like in 10 years from now, if everything goes well, which I do think it will, you'll probably be the top person in Canada in terms of media, in terms of journalism.
Thank you.
We believe in you.
Thank you.
You might get locked up in the process, but you'll get out quickly.
Yeah.
I do think that the impartiality, that is key, right? Because like, I was on like, I think last week or whatever, I think it was a week ago. You asked the right questions and you just let me talk stuff out. And you had a good stoppage point, like to ask me a new question, There was like, you were just asking and directing the conversation, but letting me talk it out anyway. That's the proper way to do it. Is that the way that the mainstream media does it? No.
Mm-hmm.
They give you 2 minutes, if you're lucky, probably 30 seconds, and you go, and you're basically pre-screened anyway, so they know that you're going to say the right things, right?
Yeah.
Yes, right. That's not what we need.
And
So,
yeah, especially in Canada. Like I know you mentioned MSNBC. I know there's like a whole bunch of different ones. From what I remember, it's really just CTV and CBC in Canada. Maybe there's some other smaller ones, but yeah, I think PBS is from the States as well. So yeah, there's really almost every corporation in Canada, or genre of corporations is like has a complete monopoly, like phone providers, everything. Like that's just how it is.
Is
So
PBS American?
Public
I think so.
I thought it was Canadian.
I mentioned CNN. They're like, I would equate CBC to CNN, but CBC is like state funded, right?
All of the mainstream stuff is state funded, and that's really ridiculous, because there's some news outlets that are independent, like True North, for example, in Canada. But there's Andrew Lawton is like one of the very well known Canadian like radio talk show hosts or whatever, and he's been covering Ottawa stuff. But I've listened to him, I think, yesterday or whatever, and he was trying to get into Ottawa after they put in the Emergency Act and whatever, and he was stopped by police, and they said they didn't have a consistent who they're going to let in, and they were starting to make statements that if you have a credentials to go into the press room, like in the parliament, I really don't know what that entails, but that basically means you're part of the state funded media, then they will let you in. If you're like an independent journalist, then they won't. So they're trying to go in the direction where if the government rubber stamps you, then you can cover stuff. If they don't rubber stamp you, they don't. So he said he was turned in on one police checkpoint, but on the other police checkpoint, he pulled out his Twitter profile and he showed them that, look, I do journalism, and there's not really in our constitution a definition what that means. And the other police officer let him through, right? But I feel like as time goes by, they're going to go into direction that you are only a journalist if you have the rubber stamp from the government, and I've seen this movie before. Ain't good, right? Because the only thing you see on the television screen is the same BS propaganda that you get from Justin's mouth. So, but that's the direction we're headed, right? And these kind of situations, these kind of live streams, and the kind of work that is being done by Zot and you guys, this can go around it, right?
I think
regulations, right?
They've got some bill. Don't they have a bill going through right now that is trying to censor this?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what bill it is, but I'm pretty sure there's one going through where basically if you speak your mind or talk against the government, they'll censor you. I don't know how they're going to do it, but
I mean,
they want to talk to the big corporations like YouTube, Facebook, and whatever to start doing their will, right? So these kind of streams might not be possible in a month or two with this stuff, right? I don't know how much time that's going to take, but that's why we need to start thinking about alternatives, right? The mainstream media is only as strong as people listen to it.
We have a mic. We have a mic issue. Whose mic is that? Does anyone know? I don't know.
Oh, it seems like it's not. Oh, is that me?
Testing. Cock-a-doodle-doo, the cow says moo.
It might be me. I don't know. Tell me if that stops.
I forgot to mention NTD News. They're actually impartial, and they were at I think they were at the starting point of the convoy, and like I was there, so I saw like clips of the event. It's like, wow, they actually went there. So I trust NTD News. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And are they like, does that air on TV or what is that?
I see it on YouTube. They have their own website, but they've been getting censored like crazy, so it's really hard to find them. So
Yeah.
N as in, I'm just thinking of word. Knights, T as in, I'm sorry. Okay, NTD. Okay, you can hear that.
Yeah, and TV. I know YouTube. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is that anyone who talks about like vaccines on YouTube, like that's a major thing that they censor for misinformation. Anything that you say about it, they're really big on that. So that's already. I know some people. One YouTuber who covered the convoy here had like a bunch of his stuff taken down, like most of his videos. So.
Yeah, it was Mac John, I think, because he was filming something and there was a speaker, and YouTube
Oh yeah, they can like copyright thing. Yeah.
wasn't even filming the speaker. It was just background noise, and they did that to him. That was messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I muted my mic for a while, but I don't think it's me.
Yeah, I think it might be the guy on the top right. It might be your headphones. I don't know. It just started though.
I just plugged it in, so maybe it is.
Maybe it's me. Hold on.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Mine's unplugged now. It's still happening. It's not.
I'm gonna try muting you. I don't know what it is. I'm like muting people one at a time. Hold on. Oh, I think it stopped. So I think it's you on the bottom right, because when I muted you, it stopped. It might be your headphones or something. I don't know if you like switched the audio.
Is that better, everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think I fixed it.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. Problem solving.
So I can plug mine back in.
I was gonna. Oh yeah, and the other thing about the I know someone mentioned something about having like the Canada going towards only accepting like people who have credentials of like CBC, CTV, stuff that they fund. I know one of the last days when I was there, when there was like all those police there that were like pushing people out, there was like a camera. There was like Rebel News, which is kind of known to be, well, like definitely not government funded. And then I saw another camera crew who was like behind the line of police, like filming them from the other side. And all their stuff was like unmarked, but yeah, and then Rebel News was like on the side of where all the people were, which was kind of just crazy to see.
One of the Rebel News hosts actually got pelted by a rubber bullet and gas grenade from the police. They're doing a lawsuit right now, from what I last heard, because of that.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I mean, guys, they're moving toward the fact that if you're not a credentialed journalist, you're not a credentialed journalist. You're not going to be allowed to cover stuff, and it's going to blow, right? Look, if everybody knows that the media sucks and they lie, they can also be a good source of information, because all you got to do is negate what they're saying, and then you get the truth, right? Whatever they're saying, just think the opposite, and you know what's going on. Like we can figure this out. It's not. It's gonna suck, right? But like we can do this. Like just because they say things are supposed to be a particular way doesn't mean that they're gonna be that way.
I know a lot of people now are saying like a lot of the footage that's coming out of Ukraine is sort of some people are saying it's like old footage, or it's like not representing what's going on. What do you guys think about that?
I think I said that statement before. In war, truth dies first. It's been a week. We've been fed a whole bunch of like clipped videos, and the same media that was bullshitting us is now covering stuff in Ukraine. And now they were bullshitting us about the convoy at 180 from what was actually happening, and we're supposed to now believe them that they're reporting what actually is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry, right? Even if they are, they just fucking lied to us the last week. Like, I'm gonna just like now believe them that now they're reporting 100% accurate stuff. And give me a break. Plus,
Yeah.
Russia has a really good military, yeah. And what's being shown is like, oh, they're starving, they're out of food, they're out of fuel. It's like, dude, like we have no idea what the hell's going on the ground. Like, let's just accept the fact that we have no clue what the hell's going on. Yeah.
I'm on the fence with that whole thing. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly. We don't know.
I'm trying to watch stuff, and then I'm also seeing that a lot of the footage that they're advertising is actually from different, from a few years ago or whatever. So I don't even know what the fuck to believe.
Oh yeah, there was like pictures circulating that were like from different time periods, so that was really weird. The only
with
person I
their
really, yeah,
president or whatever that apparently he's on the front lines, but apparently that picture was from last year or something. Totally irrelevant situation.
yeah, that's weird. I trust Constantine from Trigonometry. He's not like reporting on it, but he's just talking about it. And his family's
And I
from
think
Russia,
he's Russian. Yeah, I was gonna say.
and he has family in Ukraine. So like it kind of, it doesn't affect him personally, but like in his social circle, his family circle, it does affect him. And he's very he's a pretty articulate guy who's very I think he's a very informed guy. So I just listen to him on it, but I'll try to listen to other people who also disagree, but who I also believe are informed. So I can't really say anything on it because, like you guys said, I don't know what to trust anymore. I have a lot of trust issues.
Either way, my opinion is I want the Russians to be safe, and I want the Ukrainians to be safe. That's where I stand. I don't. A lot of us that are in this movement, that like everything we're talking about, we don't want any type of war. Like we're sick of this fucking all these governments causing all these wars and shit. We just want to go outside, go camping. We want to go work. We want to be free and be with friends and family and stuff. We don't want this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So my thoughts on this are, Putin's regime is a bunch of assholes, and the globalists on the other side, because that's basically it. The globalists on the other side that were trying to take over Ukraine, these are the same kind of assholes that we're dealing here with Canada. So it looks to me like there was a bunch of people playing at the poker table, and somebody didn't pay somebody, and now they're pitting the Russian people versus the Ukrainian people and making them kill each other because the assholes at the top had a disagreement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now whatever media however Russia's spinning it, however our media is spinning it, it's all bullshit. It's all lies. They're both lies, and they're getting people killed because of political bullshit. And this is atrocious, right? And if we really were like having governments run by people don't want to get themselves killed, right? And to be honest, if you put a Ukrainian and a Russian next to me, unless they declare, hey, yo, I'm Ukrainian, hey, yo, I'm Russian, I couldn't tell you the difference, and I'm Polish, right? Until they freaking tell me, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. So this is bullshit. Yeah. It's just that big wigs at the top had a disagreement, and they're getting people killed. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, and the guys that the people that think like we do, we don't hate Ukrainians. We don't hate Russians. We hate people that want to negatively control us and hurt people. That's to me, that's my opinion, and I believe that's a lot of people's opinions. And we're just done. We're done with that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're going to try to pull all of us into this, right? Look what's happening, like the arms shipments, the sanctions. Like I think I saw that on Tim Pool the other day. Like there was some cat beauty contest competition, and they banned cats from Russia. Like, come on, man! Like this is getting to a whole nother level of like crazy. Like hate every Russian that you meet. You need to hate them because that's the new thing. Like, what is this bullshit, right? There's people in Russia protesting against the war there and getting locked up. They locked up like 5,000 people, but because they went out on the streets and said they don't want any of this bullshit. They don't want to kill each other. I mean, like this is and the media is trying to make every single Russian the baddest bad guy ever. Like, what the hell, man? Like, no, don't make me hate a person because they have a passport of a particular kind.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, right? Like, let me make my own goddamn judgments individually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tim Pool is very informative. Wow.
Well, yeah, but I think he's also very. I mean, I appreciate the fact that he can do stuff every day because I think that he does his stuff Monday to Friday every day for at least 2 or 3 hours. And he needs to let his guests speak a little bit. Because I don't think he can handle the fact that like he needs to be talking all the time.
Oh, I did notice that. There was a guest that was really excited to watch. It was Nick Rekieta after the Kyle Rittenhouse trial because he live streamed the whole trial and had a panel of other lawyers, and that's how I found Viva Frei. So when he showed up on Tim Pool's I think there was another guy there. What was his name? Kash Patel. So that guy was there too. Yeah, but like I didn't hear Nick talk at all. So, well, I mean, he talks sometimes, but I was expecting more talk from him. So, like you said, yeah, I want to hear more of the guest talk.
Yeah, and Charlotte is really good at that. And with that, I think I've talked enough, so I'm gonna bounce and I'll let you put somebody else on. Thanks for having me again. And,
yeah, thanks for coming.
You guys have a good evening.
Take care.
Nice talking to you, bro.
Yeah, I know I had some people waiting to come on, so I'm gonna put a couple people on. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it? I know I had you on a couple. I think I had you on twice, right?
Yeah, the other day, I'm sitting in my car instead of standing outside. And then everyone was like, I couldn't understand them, so I drove into the city of Pittsburgh so I can hear you better. So I've been waiting on here for 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, it's been 2 hours. So I wanted to hang up, but then I'm like, I really wanted to share that I went to because I'm in Pennsylvania. I went to Breezewood today and I got to see the Convoy live. And
oh, really? And yeah, so what happened there?
I got to see Oreo and Julius, Saznak. If you follow those live streams, I saw them pass. It was amazing. It was an hour and a half worth of trucks and cars and caravans. It was really neat riding up there, seeing people on the overpasses, standing offside the road. We're out there. And then when you got to the intersection of Breezewood to get off the exit, the space there. And
I love Saznak.
Huh? And they shut off the intersection so the convoy could keep on going through there. And it was as far as the eye could see. It was just breathtaking and tears. It was fantastic.
How many trucks would you say there were?
There were so many because I think that different trucks and cars joined into the convoy, and there weren't only 150 trucks in that convoy. This is a lot.
I'm hearing that they got about 300 as of tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just trucks. That's not even including the cars, the vans, the pickup trucks, the motorhomes. It's freaking insane.
Yeah, I think I want to, because I didn't see my dog yet, and because I wanted to come out on here, and I was so excited because I followed Charlotte and Matt a lot. And so I wanted to come here and tell my experience because I was with them. And it is two different ways of convoy. Canada, the trucks were planted in Ottawa. So you knew you were going in there every day, the trucks were there. And you were walking the street, you knew you were going to talk to this truck driver, they had food. But this is a moving convoy. So it's going across the United States. So, and the organizers are excellent. Yeah, I heard you talking about Tamara. She used to not jail, on the jail to get out of jail. And Captain still in there. But Chris, the other organizer, he got bail, and 100,000 bail to get out, but hard requirement. So, but next week's gonna be a new week, just like Canada. There were 3 weeks of peace, and then a week and a tyranny. So we're going to, and BC is not a state; it's federal land. So they just can't go in there and stamp their truck because then they'll have like anybody political person. So, and they really aren't given any information if they're even going on the beltway, slow moving and stuff. These are just things different people are saying. So, they delayed it another day in Maryland. So, and then they're going to DC. So I really want to go tomorrow and see the streamers and meet the truckers. So that's my plan tomorrow. It took me about 3 hours to leave, so I think it's another 5 hours, like it's 5, 6 hours to get to Maryland. But point my GPS yet. But it was exciting. It was as exciting as going with Charlotte down 3 to Ottawa. It was really great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't. Your mic is a little bit muffled, so I
Yeah,
didn't
it's very muffled.
Yeah, I didn't get everything that you said, but I just wanted to ask you. Oh yeah, so where did you see it? The convoy.
Breezeway.
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 Okay.
It's in an intersection, and the state police. If you can't understand me, just tell me because I'm trying to drive around to different areas here. But the state police stopped all the traffic to let all the truckers up, and everybody just hollered and shouted and said thank you to the state cops, state troopers for being so nice about it.
Yeah. So, what do you think about what we talked about on here today?
Well,
I don't know if you were watching earlier.
I've been watching since you came on.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, so I came on and I'm like, oh, 9:15. I'm gonna hope to get in there, and then I didn't get in. So I've been listening to you. All the conversation is very interesting. It's neat how all you collaborate. I think the platform is a nice platform. I think the only thing that I would suggest is, like, I think at the beginning when you thought we're doing this, and then you discovered all these people were calling, and then you had a 7-minute limit. But
Yeah.
I think a panel like this, you can't do it because it's organic and you get to talk about different subjects. And Charlotte, you're really great at sitting back and letting everybody just talk. And yeah, I think that's a great asset of yours. And
Thank you.
and you're confident. And you're not judgmental. You know, you're letting people get how they feel. There should be, and you guys are new at this, but you're asking for suggestions. And I would, if you're going to have a panel discussion like this, like maybe a half an hour or 45 minutes, and then go to the next set of people or
Mhm.
them around or something. Because I saw people in private chat saying the same thing. I was asking if you were having more guests. Because I was planning on being in bed to prepare for this journey I have tomorrow. But that's what, but I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in Washington, D.C. Only the Lord knows what's going to happen. And what I like about the organizers, they're Christian people, and they pray, and people pray. Did you guys see the praying dog also? The praying
The
dog.
The
On
praying dog.
in Indiana, one of the organizers was praying, and the dog knelt down and prayed also.
I was watching that, but I don't think the dog was praying. I think the dog just wanted to relax. But I know what you're talking about. I watched it on Saznak.
It was praying. Yeah. Everything that they prayed, you could go back and rewind it. I wouldn't spread a rumor. It was praying. The man directed it. It just prayed. It had that way of knowing. So it wasn't just tired. You'll see. But that was very interesting. And so we don't know what's going to happen in Washington, D.C. We just don't know. Just like that other guy said, Trudeau's not going to change his mind and say, okay, everything's back to normal. He called Joe Biden to ask him his opinion. And neither of them are going to crack the corrupt government all the way around. So it's a fight, and it's going to be sacrifices, and that's what it's going to be. So that's where we're at right now.
Mhm. And on the bottom left, you haven't spoken yet. What do you think
I
about-
was just letting her talk. It was difficult to hear her, so I didn't want to say anything and like kind of cut her off. I actually tried to jump on, I think like the first time you guys did this, but this is my wife's cam and I can't really like, I bug her about it all the time. So I just had like a picture of myself up, but you never chose me to say anything. But that's fine. I understand. I wanted to say first off that like I was watching you guys from the beginning, and I have to say like two things, like, well, three things really. Thank you guys a ton because it was incredible. Like, thank all the streamers that were doing it really, but I mean, I'm speaking to you guys directly. And Zot has hustle, man. It was incredible. I was watching like Viva, and he would just jump in front and be like, "Hey, Zod, watch this!" And, it was just like it's admirable, really, because I mean, like the first time I saw it, I thought it was kind of a joke, really. I was kind of like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Like, what a kidder!" But then he does it again somewhere else. You're watching like you Ottawa Scotty, or you're watching like whatever, and he does it again and again and again. Finally, you're like, let's see what he has to say or what he does. And like everybody says about you guys, I mean, you really just let people talk. You ask a simple question and whatnot, and it's kind of a fantastic thing. And then as far as you, like, you're a soldier. It's ridiculous. Like it was incredible. One of the funniest things, it's funny. It's a shitty moment because like I'm from Canada. I live in Montreal. I wish I could have been there. It was when the cops were doing their thing, and they ended up pepper spraying like right around you, and you end up saying like, "Oh shit, I think I got pepper spray on me," or whatever, and then you turn the camera to look at yourself and you fix your mascara a little bit, and I was like, "You're a fucking gangster, dude!" Like, just like kind of like everybody thinks that a hero's gonna wear a cape or have like some sort of combat boots, and there's Charlotte like fixing up her mascara, and then still trucking along. Yeah, well, I can imagine it must have been burning like crazy, right? But yeah, I just wanted to start off with saying that stuff. And the lady down there was saying too, some suggestions for you guys and whatnot. I wrote you guys an email. It was like the last time or the time before you guys were doing this. You had asked for different things, and I have like similar suggestions, I guess, when it comes to when you're sort of interviewing people or whatnot. Um, but the weird thing is when you're gonna have any kind of time limit, you just never really know. Some people are gonna be interesting to watch, and other people just aren't. And that's where it's gonna come to you guys. Like the more and more, if you're taking this seriously and you really do want to do something with it, it's gonna be more and more up to you to be able to just kind of feel it out. And there's some people that could be cut off, like maybe the Florida woman. I mean, she was entertaining at the least, though, for sure. But maybe the Florida woman, you just kind of like, okay, it was nice to hear from you and whatever. And then
She
other
was
people
having me howling.
it was. I was watching you the whole time. I was like, this guy's gonna crack, but you didn't. It was pretty funny. You're just like kind of covering up. But then other people have interesting things to say, and like you're just gonna kind of have to figure that out. But one of the biggest suggestions, actually, that I wrote in the email because this whole thing, like even the protest that's happening in the United States right now, which who knows what's going to come of it and whatnot. Everything's going to continue to change. Like you guys are going to have to definitely open up something for yourselves. You know what I mean? And if you want to continue, one of the biggest suggestions that I had was, I feel like you guys are amazing at asking questions and letting people talk for sure, but not so much of having like your own voice, I guess. And I'm sure you guys have opinions and whatnot. And one of the ways that you'd be able to get that out to people, which I'm sure everybody here watching is interested in what you guys think, what your personal experiences are, is literally just having like a discussion between you and Matt, just sitting there. You see other people on YouTube doing that kind of thing, right? And they'll just sit there and kind of discuss back and forth even between themselves. And I would say don't be afraid of doing a show like that. You don't have to rely on the other events like, the truckers, for example. That's where this all started. And then now to the people that are watching your show and whatnot. You guys definitely have your experiences. I mean, I have all this bullshit to say and I wasn't even there. You know what I mean? Like you guys were actually there. So you definitely have some things to say, and I'm sure everybody would be more than happy to hear that. And that'll help you kind of move the channel, I think, forward as well. So
yeah, that is a cool idea. Having I kind of thought of doing stuff like that. I know I mentioned in like earlier things where we would do like food reviews. It's not really the same thing, but just having me and Matt. So, but that is a cool idea.
While you guys are doing that, you can still, like I said, like that's kind of finding your voice. Like everybody kind of does a food review thing, or maybe they make different sort of like, they're cooking something or whatever. But you guys, in your own discussion of what you guys like to talk about, it's going to be different, so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Oh,
you can
actually
you can just butt in. You don't have to raise your hand. You can just butt in.
Force of habit. I don't have the heart to ever cut people out. I mean, cut off people. I actually have a suggestion if you guys are open to it. You know how that one guy that was talking, he had a blue shirt. He talked about this movie from Poland called Sex Mission. What if like the people from the stream, what if you guys like do like a viewing like later this week and everybody just watches it together, and you and Matt can be like in a corner like reacting to it. Yeah.
That would be cool actually. I don't know about like, I mean, StreamYard, I actually it's streaming onto the YouTube channel, so I'm not sure what YouTube's like copyright rules, what that would be.
Yeah.
So I would have to like look into that, but that would be that's actually a good idea, doing a reaction. And I know a lot of people have mentioned, like, I mean, every person I have on pretty much mentioned something, oh, you need to look into this or that. So
that's the thing too, like just doing like research and things like that for yourselves. I mean, there's a lot of different interesting books. Again, in that email, I sent you guys a very interesting read. It's not like a book or anything. It was actually just a short paper, but it's incredible, and it like pertains exactly to this unvaxxed, vaccinated problem that we have now. This division that we have in society, and it really lays it out in like this man talks about like the historical, rather historically how this has always happened. Like it's always been around. And in fact, like that's the interesting thing about democracy itself, when you really think about it, is that we don't really ever pay attention, right? But there's always pretty much 50-50 on every single topic, right? Like that's why, I mean, when was the last time that you ever had a president or prime minister just win like 90% of the votes? Like it never happens. It's always being won by just a little bit more than the other side. So that means that every single thing that we ever discuss, we're all kind of at odds. Like there's one side and another for all of them. But then all of a sudden something like this comes out and it's important enough to a lot of people, right? Or it's important enough to both sides. And the next thing you know, people are smashing against one another. They're angry at one another. I mean, like if you read the comments on the internet about all this, where people have their anonymity, you know, they don't have a face and whatever, and they can be as ruthless as they want. People get like, you know, COVID, and they're unvaxxed, and they're like, oh, I wish that person, you know, dies, and they kill the rest of their family too with this kind of crap. I mean, it's disgusting, right? And that's the type of thing that happens. Like that is kind, like, it's weird to say, but that's kind of there for every single topic we have when it comes to democracy. It just takes something like this to kind of bring it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I pretty much asked everyone who's come on today, but what do you think about the U.S. convoy? I know you said you're in Montreal.
Yeah, but I have a lot of family and stuff in the United States, and I have a lot of friends too that I speak to in the US, and I've spoken to a lot of them while all this was kind of going on here in Canada. And the only thing I can say about it is I mean, because I don't want to speak for the US or anything, but the US, even though they're right there and they're our neighbors, and as Canadians, we do kind of feel, even Americans, right? We kind of feel like we're sort of the same people. They're kind of not. Like one of the proudest moments that I had in, I don't even fucking know how long, was watching the day that everybody in Ottawa got gassed, beaten by the cops, that whole thing, when they did that. And then later that night, they were in the streets dancing to music, partying, telling the cops they love them. That's Canadian things, man. Like it's not that we're like you hit me on this side of the face, go ahead and hit me on this one. We're not pacifists. We're not bitches like that or anything. Pardon my speaking, but I'm just being straightforward. Like we're just not punks like that. But if it was something that we know we have to remain organized, we have to remain, practice restraint like they did that day, we will do it. The U.S. is a little different. Like they, remember that woman just now that was from Florida. She was like, oh, well, we've got guns. Like, yeah, right? I mean, so they kind of don't get pushed like that. And the moment they do get pushed, they have a harder time as a people to kind of remain a little bit more in check and make sure that what they're doing is not going to get their cause in trouble. So that being said, I have a feeling that if something did happen as crazy as it did in Ottawa, my point being, where they do finally get the cops to come in, start, doing what they did to us, it's not going to be pretty. Like it can easily go downhill really, really, really quickly. And the sad part about that is it can flip on them like that. Like the woman said, I think it might have been you or somebody else said, what do you think about, like, is the US going to get martial law? And she laughed and like, oh, that would never happen. Like, well, 9/11 happened, right? I mean, all kinds of things happen to you. You guys are not impervious to all these different things. So yeah, if they end up doing something and it goes south, and then the peaceful protesters fight back, yeah, it can get bad pretty quickly. So I am a little bit concerned about it. I've been watching different things about it. Who knows? But it's definitely, it's different for sure.
I was watching that live when what you were talking about earlier, where the people after the first time that the police came in and really when the horses trampled the lady and stuff, and like you said, that night they were trying to have a party and laughing and shooting off fireworks, and it's like I myself was feeling distraught, just watching what happened, and then but these guys are there, and they're still being peaceful after all that, and then it's crazy.
I was welling up. I mean, I'm not even gonna like act like a try to be tough about it or anything. Like I literally was coming to tears like watching that. I was like, this is just incredible. I can't believe it, because I was worried that they weren't going to be like that. I was worried that it was going to become worse, that more people were going to get hurt, that Trudeau was going to get even more incentive. He'll get more people like, siding with him as far as like us, you know what I mean? And they'll be begging him to take our rights away, basically, because that's the danger, right?
Yeah, I'm not that emotional myself, but
me neither.
During this whole thing, I've experienced emotions that I was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
I'm not even patriotic. I've never voted. I don't care. Like, I mean, I'm Canadian, but I don't think about it that way,
Yeah.
But then I started watching this, and I was just like, they're just good people, and they're doing what they're supposed to be allowed to do. And that to me just hit me immediately. Like, wait, what? Like, because you hear about all this stuff and the conspiracies but when you're seeing it and it's in your own country, you're like, wait, what? Why would they not be allowed to do what they're supposed to be allowed to do?
Well, and then it gets really fucking weird when they're calling us racists. They're calling us white supremacists. And recently, we are now rapists.
Yeah, I know. I heard that one
too.
Like,
are you fucking kidding me? That's coming from the fucking government calling us rapists.
I remember they tried to start that thing off saying that like the truckers were the ones that were harassing women. I'm sure you guys all know Truck Yeah, right? Truck Yeah, brother. We all know, what's his name again? It's slipping my mind now. Shots by Hill. I was watching Shots by Hill doing his streams as well. He saw this random dude, and people have different conspiracy theories and this and that about that, but it was just a guy who was like high on some drugs, and he was literally harassing women, running down and like grabbing them and things like that, and Shots followed him, telling him like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Stop this shit. Ends up chasing him all the way down the street to the point where he gets to one of the police blockades. He tells the police, like this guy goes to the police. He's the weirdo, the cracked out guy. He starts saying something. Shots is staying behind, filming all this, and then the guy starts to walk down the other way. And Shots walks up to the police. He's like, "Hey, that guy's like harassing women. What are you doing?" And the cops are like, well, and then another two random people, this couple, come down and they say, yeah, we were actually looking for you guys to tell you this as well. He's been harassing people. He grabbed some woman and he tried to grab us and things like that. And the cops again are kind of like just shrugging their shoulders. So Shots decided, I'm just going to follow this guy again, follows them all the way down the street. He grabs another woman. She runs towards the cops to tell the cops again. So that's like 4 different people. 3 at least, but like 4 people that are telling this police somebody's out here harassing somebody at nighttime. The police do nothing. And who ends up doing something to get the guy out of there was one of the truckers. It was Shots by Hill. Mm-hmm. And then the media spins that and tries to say it was the truckers that were harassing people. They were doing things against women. It was crazy.
It's disgusting. Charlotte, you were down there. You saw what was going on. So, I mean,
it's definitely eye-opening. Before, I didn't pay much attention really to any kind of media, like mainstream or not. But it's definitely really eye-opening when you're there yourself, like standing there and you're seeing firsthand what's going on. And then, you hear about it on like whatever CBC, and it's just like completely like so far removed. So
I was watching, like I switched over to mainstream media. I just wanted to see what they were saying, and I physically couldn't watch it anymore because I was like, "What are you talking about? What are you saying? You're saying people are the protesters are throwing gas grenades at the police? Like, are you? Oh my god! Like, just even thinking about that is like,
Are you serious? I don't know.
I know.
It looked like the girl from Cali had something to say.
Oh yeah, I just want to check out because I want to I'm gonna let other people speak, but I just want to go back to what we were talking about before about like patriotism. Like I felt so proud of Canada and their patriotism. Like I had the way you watch Braveheart, you feel proud to be Scottish. You're not even Scottish, but when you're watching that, you feel so much like patriotism. So that's the same thing I felt. Now I get emotional hearing the national anthem. I hear the dun, dun, dun. I'm gonna learn lyrics, but that just made me. It makes me emotional now. And also like Ottawa, it's like ingrained in my brain. Like because I've seen so many streams, like I can recognize it now. Like I think I even gave Charlotte directions one stream when she was looking for Danny's truck. So I went because she was asking where he was. So I went to the previous stream that Zod had where Danny was, found where that was, and then found where Charlotte was, and then tried to see like how to get there. But anyways, I got the address and another person got it at the same time as me. But man, I got motion sickness from that. But now like Ottawa's just like in my head, like spatially. Like I can anyways, bye guys. Have an awesome day.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Bye. I was watching Charlotte when you were running around. It was like everyone was like, "Why is she running?"
I remember that one.
I ran so many times. Like I remember I was running.
You just kept running. We're like, "What the hell's going on?"
I was running. I don't know which time. I probably ran like tons of times, but I think one time I was sitting in Danny's truck and we were literally just then talking about how because every day people were saying, "Oh, the riot police are here," or whatever. So I was talking about how it was probably a scare tactic. There's rumors being spread, and I was talking to Danny about it. And then everyone in the comments is like, no, like it's really happening. Like, you have to go down to Rito. And I'm like, what? Am I being trolled? And then everybody kept commenting, like, what are you doing? Go, go, go. So I was like, I ran all the way down the street, like got all my like equipment and stuff on. But yeah, sometimes you just gotta run.
Yeah, you're crazy to be out there though. Like it was nuts. It's good to see that you like in a more warmer area. Like you don't have a red nose and like,
I can like move my fingers and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I was watching you.
Thanks for being out there. It was incredible.
Yeah, you were so cold, and I was like, oh man, you sat down for a bit, and you were like freezing, and I'm just like, I can't. Like, the motivation you had when I just don't even know what to say about it. Like, it's
What
gonna be.
motivated you to do that? Honestly, why did you do it? Because you just said 2 seconds ago you never paid attention to any of this crap. So why would you do it?
Yeah, honestly, I had just come up from Toronto. Like I wasn't even in Ottawa when it started, but I heard about it and I was like, oh, that's weird because nothing ever happens in Ottawa. So we came back up to Ottawa and Matt was just like live streaming it. Like he was there and I hadn't been down there. Like it was like a couple days in and I was like, okay, well, I want to go see it. I really didn't know much about. I just knew it was whatever, the Freedom Convoy, and so I wanted to go see it. And yeah, I don't know. Basically, I went there, and it was just such a like loving like community. Like it was just like nothing I've ever seen in Ottawa before. Like people walking down the street and talking to each other, and giving people food, and like just like so many nice people. And yeah, like I wanted to go back. And yeah, like you were saying, like I was freezing, but I didn't want to leave. Like it was just so nice being there.
That's what everybody said. I mean, and it looked that way, and it came across like the interwebs to everybody else. Honestly, that's why people are still, even after it's over. I mean, the main part of it on Wellington is over, but it was just a very heartfelt, proud to be Canadian moment for sure. So I'd imagine you wouldn't want to leave that definitely.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say too about like the protests in general. Like everybody kind of says these different things, especially Trudeau and them. Every politician that they want you to like protest a certain way, And to anybody out there like listening, like, don't ever do that. A protest, it's actually, I can't remember the exact quote. It's from Gandhi. But a protest is supposed to be disruptive. If it's not disrupting things, it doesn't matter. And that's how they want to protest. In fact, I've always felt the protests were pointless. Like, I always thought that they would never do anything. It's like basically kind of like a child toddler throwing a temper tantrum. Let them tire themselves out. They'll be out there with their signs and things like that, thinking that they're getting some sort of change to happen. And then they'll tire themselves out and they'll go home. And so long as the government can keep a protest on that level where it's not actually disrupting anything, then it doesn't matter. And they can kind of get away with continuing on doing whatever it is that the people don't want them to do. So definitely, like, you can't be violent or anything like that. And honestly, what happened in Ottawa was the apex of protesting. That is exactly how it's supposed to be. You should be disrupting, making people uncomfortable legally. And so long as you're doing that, that's how you're going to get heard. Everybody has to stop at that point. Otherwise, you're like it's a bad thing to say, I guess, but it's like you're the homeless person on the street, like begging for change. You know, you're begging for a difference in your life, please, please. But you're quiet in your own little corner, your own little homeless little corner of the street. We all walk past. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We all walk past those people. We become oblivious to them. But if that homeless man all of a sudden, let's say, was making it a little bit more inconvenienced for you to go to the store or whatever, then now you're probably going to listen to what he has to say. And if what he has to say is important, then it's going to change your mind about it, and you're going to give him $1. We're trying to get the politicians to the government to change things that give us $1. We don't want the way you're doing stuff, and we're going to make sure that we're heard. So yeah, that was just an incredible thing. And that's probably why it was worldwide inspiring, really, because everybody was like, that's the blueprint to do it. You know?
I did a march in Edmonton. I live in Edmonton. I did a march last Saturday. First, we did a convoy from Nisku, and then there was 2 other convoys, but I've never done a march in my life. And so I did this march with my son, and we walked through downtown Edmonton. It was probably a good 45-minute march. And I was looking up at the residential or the apartments and stuff, and tons of people were looking out their window with cameras and stuff, and they saw hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of us, and they're videoing us, it's as easy as that to get our word out, because these people don't even know what the hell's going on. So they see us and they're like, what the fuck? There was probably a couple thousand of us, and it was insane. And then to see all these people looking through their windows in their apartments and stuff, and you could see they're recording us. It lights something up in them. They're like, what the fuck's going on? So now they're doing their research and they're finding stuff out, but hopefully they're not going to the mainstream media to find their information. But it was really amazing to see, and it was all peaceful. It was absolutely amazing. The only people that were not peaceful were the people that didn't like us. They were giving us the middle finger. I had mentioned earlier, one of the drivers of a vehicle that was a part of the protest, she went back to her vehicle and her tire was slashed, and someone punched in her door. It's like, why? For what? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, like slashing the tires or everything the police officers did, any kind of physical violence and all that was definitely like disgusting. And I hadn't seen anything from the truckers. I wasn't just watching like one stream either. I was watching like 5 at a time at times. You know, if I'd kind of like mute one when an interview or something interesting was going on, or rather I'd unmute the ones that I saw something was going on. But you had said something just now, and there was a couple of other people earlier on in this stream, and it's something that I hear a lot of people say in general, that, you know, they heard some harsh words and whatever. And I couldn't honestly disagree with that more. Like, there's nothing wrong with harsh words. We got to really get over that as a society. Like, people are going to disagree with you. The moment you start like caring about things like that is the time that, you know, it's adding to the inability to protest and make any kind of change. Like, by default, the moment that you're going to try to say anything to make a difference, it's going to offend everybody. Like, or at least, like I was saying earlier in regards to democracy, it's absolutely going to offend 50% of the population.
Mhm.
That's just the way it goes. It's like a constant tugging, you know, of war that's going on. And if you're not actually, I'm not saying you have to say something that's offensive all the time, every single time you open your mouth, but people got to stop being afraid of being offensive. They have to stop pointing a finger at other people, you know, the moment that they, you know, they say something offensive to them. So if anybody was saying sort of like F-bombs or whatever to the protesters, who cares? It kind of is what it is. It kind of comes along with the whole thing, really.
And a lot of us are just accepting that there's always going to be people trolling us and talking shit. And like I said earlier, I'm an introvert, and sorry, I'm trying to avoid any drama. But at this point in time, I'm sick and tired. And you guys in the chat, some of you guys are talking shit, and honestly, I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck if I'm out and about supporting all of this. You're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt my feelings. You're not going to change my mind, because fact of the matter is I know what I'm doing is for the good. I'm not hurting anyone.
You see, this is the thing, and you reminded me of the point that I was trying to say, because there was more to what I was saying just now. In the media right now, this is what they're trying to say about Tamara Lich. It's what they're trying to say about David. What's his name? I forget his last name, but the other person that got detained.
Pat King.
But Pat King. You know, they're trying to bring out their character. They're trying to say like he's stated other times, which he has. I'm absolutely not denying he has, that he stated certain things that were white supremacist-esque. I'm not exactly sure, because the moment he started, like I saw that he started saying certain things about it, I was like, okay, it's true, and I don't care to listen to that kind of stuff. I'm definitely not an advocate for racism or anything like that. But we kind of have to come to a point in society where if these people are out there trying to do something that's good, okay, I'll put it to you this way. They voted, right? We've accepted their vote for whoever is going to become prime minister. So how come our politicians can reap in all the benefits to all the rapists and white supremacists and you name it, pedophiles or whoever else that we as a society definitely despise, but they're allowed to vote. But then when they come out and they try to make some sort of protest on something else that they think needs to be changed in our society, now all of a sudden we have to start throwing up a red flag, being like, oh, but you did this, but you did that. And that's the heart of cancel culture in and of itself, right? Like, it just has to come to an end with this sort of stuff. Like, we can't be soft like this anymore. When somebody says something that we know is right, and someone else wants to say, oh, but he did something years ago, or last night on his channel he said something that a whole bunch of you are going to find offensive, does that change what he's saying? Does that change the message? Like, we're no longer hearing what this person's saying, because it could be a terrible person. I've done some terrible things in my life, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a point sometimes, you know, that is worth hearing. So
Yeah, agreed. I mean, yeah, I think everybody should be able to take into consideration everybody's opinions and make their own. So.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try and get one more person on, and then I'm probably gonna end this for the night. But is there any kind of closing thoughts, like anything you want to leave the viewers with?
Oh, not really. I mean, I had a lot more to say the other night, funny enough, but I never got on. I was like more into it, and my family's kind of asleep in the other room right now, so I can't really. It's weird. It's like they're not even here, but it's sort of distracting, like mentally, you know.
Yeah,
But I wanted to say again, like, thank you so much, and I really do hope I get to speak to you guys again.
For sure.
Maybe I'll have something more entertaining to say or whatnot. But thank you a lot, and keep up the good work.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. And tell Matt, if you can, what I said. Like, he can hustle, man. He did really good, man. It's incredible what he could do.
Yeah,
So,
you definitely can. I'll
keep it up,
I'll tell him to check out the email though, for sure.
cool. Take care.
Yeah, you too. So yeah, I don't know if you heard, but I'm just gonna try and get one more person on, and then I'm probably gonna end the stream. But did you have anything else to say?
No. I'm just gonna sit here and watch the rest of this, and if you do some more of this, I'll probably join again. As well as Travel Fun, he likes to. He's starting up. He's got his Beers and Cheers channel. So depending on my work schedule and whatnot, I get notifications. So
all right.
It's it's nice that you're doing this. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for coming on. Take care.
All right, bye.
So I know we have live from the shed here. I saw him waiting. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I was just watching your channel to keep myself awake. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, nice.
What are you doing?
I'm just driving to Ottawa right now. I'm driving to Ottawa. Yeah.
Is that for this weekend?
Yeah, there's a big march tomorrow. Are you gonna get downtown?
Yeah, I probably I've been planning on doing that. Are you gonna be there?
Oh yeah, I'll be arriving around 2 a.m. Gonna crash at a friend's house and then get out in the morning. Yeah, there's it's hard to know how many, right? But we're expecting a few thousand for sure. Gonna march down to Parliament Hill, wave the flags, few speeches, that sort of thing. So should be it'll be good to see a crowd out there again, right? Because there hasn't been much of a crowd since we left. So
yeah, no.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people coming up again.
When's it supposed to start? Is it supposed to be like an all day?
There's like, you know how it is down here. There's like so many different groups organizing stuff. There's one group going around saying 10 o'clock. There's another one saying 11 o'clock. So if you get there by 10 o'clock, there'll be someone there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's the beautiful thing about this movement is like there's so many moving pieces, right? So our crew on Wellington Street, we had our group that we worked with, but then there was a bunch of other groups too, right? So, but yeah, I'll be streaming down there too. So maybe see. I guess Zot's still not allowed downtown, right?
No, he's banned for the time being, anyway.
Yeah, and you guys, I'm gonna keep you guys posted too, or your fans can know too. We're working on like a little mini shed tour around Ontario. So we want to get the shed truck and a few of the other trucks and go hit up some places around Ontario, do like some little mini festival sort of things. We'll get the trucks together, bring out the bouncy castles, get some people together. So yeah, I'm going to put the word out to all the streamers, and if anyone wants to come out and see a bunch of their old friends from the trucks and stuff, then that'll be a good opportunity for that. So probably starting in like April sometime. We're just getting organized right now, getting all that figured out. So, but starting in April, we're going to do a little mini Ontario tour.
That's cool.
Yeah, it should be good fun. So, yeah, it's not over yet, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's just starting.
Yeah. No.
Do you think with this being the first sort of like organization that's coming through Wellington since the convoy. Do you think there's gonna be any like conflict there with police, or like they're gonna be like counter protests or anything like that?
Like the thing tomorrow?
Yeah, for
Or
tomorrow.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see, right? Well, as you know, nothing surprises us anymore. So, I mean, there shouldn't be, because their whole thing was us blocking blocking the businesses and blocking the streets, which is obviously not going to happen because it's all people. No one's bringing their cars, and the fences are still up downtown. So, my guess would be there'll be a decent police presence, but I don't think they'll do anything. There's no without the emergency orders. There's no crime against waving your flag and standing on Parliament Hill. So I wonder if they'll give some of because there's a few people planning to give speeches and stuff, and I wonder if they'll give those people a problem. Like, but I think worst case, is maybe they'll unplug our stereo and then we can just sing and wave our flags and do that sort of thing. But as you know, everyone's super peaceful and that hasn't changed. So
yeah,
I'm not too worried about it. Got arrested once already, so we can do it. We can do it again if that's what we need to do. So, but I don't know how much more will be happening down in Ottawa these days. So but there's, I think there's a lot of desire to take this on the road, and so definitely for your fans out there, stay tuned. There are things in the works. It's just takes, when we're not all in the same space. In Ottawa, we could get things done real quick, right? And now we're all spread out, so we got to do Zoom calls and have meetings and plan out what we're gonna do next. But a bunch of the boys from downtown are excited to get together again. Actually, next Saturday we're having a big reunion with a bunch of the drivers from downtown at Jay's house, the shed truck driver. If you've seen our channel. Yeah, so we're all gonna get together at his place, and I'll probably try to get some shots to that, see all the people again.
Yeah,
but once we get dates on the road, then I'll be sure to let you guys know, and you can come out and visit too, and talk to the drivers you've got to know and stuff. So, we obviously won't be able to get everybody, but a lot of the Southern Ontario guys, we should get them out again. So.
And for are you mainly just going to be touring around Ontario, or how's that going?
Our crew. So I don't know if you know or not, but most of the trucks on Wellington Street there were from Ontario. So that there was talks of, and there still might be. You know how this works. There's a bunch of groups working together, so there still might be a group that goes across Canada. But especially for all of us who are down there in Wellington, missing a month of work, people aren't too keen to, miss more work. I had Tyler and Ashley on the channel last night, and he's taking his first job, in a month. So he's hauling a load of cattle out west, and then so he'll be gone for a bit. And so people are and Jay's got to pick up some work too, and the guys need to work. So, but I think for us, it's going to move to working during the week and then doing some different events on the weekends. But yeah, obviously none of us can speak for everyone. So I wouldn't be surprised if, some of the Alberta boys kickstart a little something out there. And we're going to try to make a little bit of a template for our Ontario tour and then share it with friends of ours in other provinces. So hopefully they kickstart their own thing too. And yeah, it's so grassroots that someone will do it. So, and it's cool now because we all have friends all over the country now. I met people from the East Coast and the West Coast and Saskatchewan, Alberta, and so I think if they see us starting to do something, and that's why the streamers are big too, because if all of this starts popping up on all the streams again, then it'll encourage people in other places to start doing their thing too. So and I think once we head into summer, we can start doing some proper, music festival type things and stuff, getting some bands out, and it could be a lot of fun. If nothing more than just to you know, people are so desperate to get out and just be with people, right? And like I heard you talking about that earlier, just being a part of that community again of smiles and hugs and joy,
Mhm.
and like we just want to be able to bring that to the whole country. So we'll start with Ontario, and hopefully it builds momentum, and people keep doing the same thing all over. So yeah, if people are listening to this, and like, you know, it's good to understand that sometimes, like, when guys like me or something talk about our organization, it sounds a lot more fancy than it is. Like, at the end of the day, it was just a bunch of people working together, you know, just making stuff happen, which anyone can do. You know, in your hometown, throw up a Facebook page. Hey, like, we're doing a barbecue, you know, and get 5 friends to bring the barbecues, bring your own meat, and find a local band that can throw up a little mini stage, and, you know, like, take it on yourself and make it happen. Like, that's how this whole
Yeah.
thing has happened. Nobody's barking down orders from the top. I keep telling people too, like, I met Tamara once in a Zoom call that, like, with a reporter, and the other people I never even met, and this is the same for most of our boys downtown. Like, it's not like we had some chain of command. Everyone just took it upon themselves to get involved and to stand up for freedom, and just to celebrate that, you know, that patriotic love that you saw. So I definitely encourage, you know, everyone who's listening to go make something happen. Make something happen in your own town, and then, hey, let me know about it, because maybe I can get some of the trucks out to visit. So yeah, if you guys are organized, if you hear, like, and for you too, right? And if you hear about stuff getting organized in Ontario, you know, shoot me my emails on the YouTube there, and I can see about getting some of our drivers out, because they love getting out and honking the horns and seeing the people, right? So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll keep this thing rocking, eh? It'll be good. But yeah, you want to go to bed? What'd you say?
Yeah, like I was just gonna say, yeah, what you said about people, you know, there's not like a huge chain of command. It says
No,
something
no.
about the movement that people just wanna, like, they wanna start something, like they wanna congregate and make things happen. Like, it's not a big organization that's saying, oh, like, you know, you need to show up here at this time, whatever. So I think it's really rare to see people just get together like that, just by their own will.
Yeah, if you have an idea, just do it. Don't wait for anyone's permission.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like we're still in the beginning stages of planning this tour, but already, like, I live near like Waterloo area, and the I got invited to a Facebook page for some people in Listowel who are putting on a little convoy this weekend, and then they want to do like a barbecue type thing in a few weeks when it's warmer, and, like, basically exactly the same thing we're planning with our trucks, which is awesome. Someone just came up with the same idea and they're going for it. So I'm gonna see if we'll get some of our trucks out at that too, because I know everyone loves to see some of the boys from the front line. Is pretty special. So yeah, like, just stay in those groups, and, like, stuff gets passed around. Like, even this weekend, right, with this march, sure, like, one group said 10 o'clock, one group said 11 o'clock, but at the end of the day, we'll get some people on the hill. It'll be a good time. So there's a nice little kind of I don't know what word I'm looking for, but the word gets around eventually, because all of us are in these different, you know, people are following the same streamers, and they're in the same Facebook groups and stuff. So if something's happening, you'll hear about it if you kind of keep watching. But we're definitely, our shed crew is keen to keep a bunch of our trucks involved, and so if you're hearing about stuff that people want to do, then reach out, and we can get some trucks out to honk the horns and say hi to everybody. So
yeah,
it should be good fun. And yeah, you guys in the States too. Was that someone from the American Convoy you were talking to earlier?
I don't think it was.
Okay.
I talked to a couple of people who went to go see it today, I think, but I don't think I talked to anyone from it.
Yeah. Well, I can't help but think it's bigger than what we're seeing on TV. Is what I imagine.
Yeah,
if it's
no,
if it's
definitely.
if it's anything like what the lies they told about us. Actually, just coming through Belleville right now. I was supposed to stay at Ashley and Tyler's place, but they're not coming home now tonight. I guess they're out having some fun. So I'm just gonna keep hauling right to Ottawa.
Yeah.
But,
How long have you been driving?
like 3 hours or something. It's
Okay.
about a 5-hour drive or something from my place. So.
Okay, wow, so you're gonna be getting there like 2 a.m.
Oh yeah, I'll probably sleep in the car. You know, it's all part of the adventure. Hey, it's probably more comfortable than the shed, which I slept in a few times too. So.
Oh really?
No, I got spoiled at the convoy. I had someone put me up in a hotel for a bunch of it. So yeah, you know, these legends, like, you know, everyone gave obviously huge credit to the truckers, but these legends who sat in their cars, and like there were people who slept in their cars for that whole time,
Yeah.
which is just insane. So good for them. And I don't know how much updates you've been giving people on the trucks, but like pretty much everyone's got their license back now. Like they did like restrict a bunch of the guys' licenses, but like everything, it was a big show. And within like a week, some of them within a couple days, they gave it back to them. And same with the bank accounts; they all got their bank accounts back. There's like one guy I'm aware of that has some insurance issues, but that's to do with his company, not to do with the government. So, as far as I'm aware, pretty much all the boys have their licenses and insurance and stuff back, and there's been a number of generous donors have reached out to help pay for the damages and such. So like Tyler's got to do some repairs on his, and people had smashed windows, and there's, as you saw in the videos, there's a lot of crap at the impound lot. So, but pretty much it'll all be covered because people are amazing, as you know, and so people have reached out to help pay for those damages and the tow fees and stuff. So. Anyway, the boys are doing good. I know people are often asking about that in the comments of where that's all at, because you never can get the truth from the media. So, and Tamara, her court hearing's on Monday. There, her next one. So, yeah, hopefully they don't keep holding her, because it's nuts. So,
yeah,
they're just trying to make a big show of that.
Yeah, I hope things go well then.
Yeah. Well, maybe. You should get down there and grab some shots. If not, people can tune into Live from the Shed. I'll try to get down there, and I'm sure someone will be around. I wonder if Viva will come, because like Viva lives in Ottawa, doesn't he, or is he in Toronto?
I think he's from Montreal.
Oh, okay. Anyway, we'll see. It'd be cool. I hope hope we run into some familiar faces. I'm sure we'll see somebody around, but I'm gonna miss my shed stage to film from, though. You know, it's too bad.
Yeah, you got the nice like vantage point and everything.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago. What's that?
No, I said you're gonna be on the street like the rest of us filming.
Yeah. Did you ever get up on our stage?
No, I don't think I did.
No. You did. How were you downtown a bunch? Because I didn't see you as much until you were tapping in for Zot there for a while.
Yeah, I think Zot covered maybe 5 days more than me. Because Zot was covering the first 5 days and I didn't go down there, or a couple days, I'm not sure. And then I started switching out for him, but I was mostly doing like the night shift, so you probably wouldn't have seen me. Because I was there,
Yeah.
I would do it from like 2 a.m. to like 8 a.m. So, and then
you were streaming at 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. We would do those 24-hour streams, right? And then someone would have to be there. So it was, and then I would go home and sleep, and then I would go back, and it was just crazy.
Man, you guys must have ate through that data plan, eh?
Oh, it was, it was crazy. We had to get, I think we had to get like a new plan because the provider like
Wouldn't give
we
you
had
any
to get a
money.
new number associated with it. It was like crazy.
Yeah, but at least, yeah, most of my long streams were just right from the shed there, and we had the Starlink, so yeah, that sure helped. Yeah,
Yeah,
that wasn't a joke. That Starlink was hooked up. We had satellite internet there, which was nice.
That's
But
awesome.
the generator kept messing up, that's why my streams kept cutting in and out. But anyway, we managed to. Did you hear about? I think Zach got an email. There's a guy who's working at like collecting all of our footage and making like an interactive map. So there'd be like a thumbnail on the map for like the day and stuff. So you could actually go on the map, click the thumbnail of the area, and then it would link to our streams in those different areas. Like pretty wild, but like he's already, yeah. He said he's already downloaded like, I don't know, like 40 hours of footage and linking it all up, but that would be crazy. It's just like some guy with an idea, right? And he's going for it. So in theory, how it'll work is you can scroll through every day of the protest, and then the different times of the day, and there'll be links to all of our videos from wherever people were filming, so you can like pull real time. So pretty interesting. That would be quite a keepsake if he ever actually puts all that together. So
Yeah, that would.
You should.
Hopefully does.
Yeah, you should check that Dot's account there, because that's he sent it to my Gmail. Basically, he was just looking for permission to use like a link to our content. So I imagine most people will be fine with that. He's not like you said, it'll link to the original videos. So anyway, keep an eye out in your inbox for that, because I saw he CC'd a bunch of the streamers. So sounds like an interesting idea. Like I said, everyone keeps doing their own thing. But yeah, I know you want to get out of here. I'm using you to keep me awake right now. So, but you dish me whenever you want, and I'll turn on the music.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go to bed soon, but yeah, I just wanted to, because I saw you waiting there, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just put him on quick, before I head out. But yeah, I guess, did you want to say anything just before I end it?
Not really. I guess just if you haven't checked out our channel already, you can head over to Life from the Shed. And yeah, we've got a few. I just did an interview with Peace Guy today, and then we had Ashley and Tyler were on 2 days ago, and so just trying to do some follow-ups with some of our crew there from the front line from the shed. So I'm gonna try to keep bringing you some of that, and then like I said, we'll keep you up to, and I'll keep you guys, your channel, informed there too of when we go on the road. So if you guys are free, you can come stream that too. So, but yeah, I'll let you call it a night. Good. Thanks for bringing me along.
Yeah, and thanks for coming on. And yeah, if people
no
are,
worries. Always good to see you guys.
Yeah, I think there's like, it's like lagging or something, but thanks for coming on. I'll probably see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep, might see you out on the hill. Good night.
Take care. All right, guys. So yeah, you heard it here. There's gonna be an event tomorrow, like a march, basically on Wellington, which is the same street that was that the truckers were on a couple weeks ago for the convoy. So if you're in Ottawa, definitely come check it out. To all the people that are waiting, I tried to have a lot of people on today. Yeah, definitely just come on for the next stream. I'll be doing these, well, I'm doing them every day, so probably be doing one tomorrow. Either me or Matt's gonna be here. So if you want to come on, I would suggest putting on your notifications and just coming on early, because usually I don't have anyone then. So I'm just gonna put the first person that's in line. So yeah, come on tomorrow. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Matt's gonna be on tomorrow, so hopefully you guys didn't miss him too much. Yeah, so boom, boom, boom. This was a ZNN broadcast. Thank you guys. Take care.